Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, are we muted? I'm muted?
You are
Or
still muted, let me unmute you. We also got here the ring system. You are unmuted now.
I'm muted now?
You are
Hello!
unmuted.
I don't I'm on the stream on my phone and I don't it still says waiting for the Android system. I don't know if it's just like lag.
You might have to refresh, yeah, because it
Okay,
says I'm live.
okay, let me redo that.
Oops, skip frames detected. Okay.
Mhm. Also, my video of you is still Archer.
Yes. I still have the overlay up. Let me go to just webcam so we can do the like, hey, hello, how's it going thing.
Alright, it still says what's waiting.
Yeah, there's a 30-second delay, I think, or like maybe 20
Oh,
seconds between what you see on like the webcam and stuff that like I'm sending
yeah.
to you and uh
Oh,
what everyone else sees.
okay.
Oh, it does actually still show Archer on mine here. Interesting.
Alright, YouTube video is going now.
Okay.
I can see Archer on my phone.
Well, let's switch to gameplay and hopefully you can
We're
see
back.
it. If not, I can literally just turn my camera off and on again here.
Mhm. There's the boy.
That's still the boy. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
So, how's everyone out there doing today?
It's like flashing.
It's flashing. Yeah, I see that.
Flashing boy to gray.
Anyway,
Oh,
so we're gonna play some baseball today, and we got the rings is here. We're gonna chat about DID and all sorts of stuff. It's gonna be a fun
what?
time.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So let us try one more time to. Okay, all right, one.
I think I think the line is not vibing.
Hmm. Well, I can at least let you see the
Oh,
gameplay while we play here, so there's no like lag between what's going on. Okay.
yeah. I think the live stream is like hella lagging. Because I heard some voice and then it stops.
Yeah, I'm hearing me, and it says skip frames detected over 62% over the last 2 minutes. Jesus,
Yeah.
that's not good. I'm gonna try maybe not having you on video on the stream.
Yeah, that can be good. I can close out my video on this end.
Yeah, let me just. Sorry about that. Yeah, remove Discord video. That'll probably do a lot to help.
Hmm. Yeah. Because remember when we tried to stream and it was like just our videos and then live streaming like crashed my computer. No, not my
Yeah.
computer, crashed Evan's computer. Well, it's just like an actually good computer because yeah, my computer never had a chance.
Oof. Yeah. Well, hopefully it's fine. It sounds like it's more consistent from like what I'm hearing from your stream now.
Yeah, it actually sounds like it's going.
Okay, good.
I'll put it on like quiet and so then I can see it if it like stops or like lags. It's still just looking at Archer though, so like that's fine.
Okay. It's still looking at Archer on like the actual video end?
Yeah, it's because it's all the way back at the beginning when
Oh,
we were
okay,
just
okay, okay.
yeah, it's like really behind, but that's okay. She's trying her best.
Yeah. Someone there says we're here until our girlfriend gets home. We're going to tell her we're a system tonight, hopefully. That's really cool, card system.
Yeah, I hope it goes well.
Yeah, me too. That's yeah, that's a big thing. And it's a big sign of trust, you know?
Oh, live stream just got to our faces. There we go.
Skip frames again. What the fuck?
Mm.
Lower your encoder settings preset. Sure you don't have any other. Hang on. Can I lower my encoder settings? I don't know how do. We're gonna do our best. Face cams are frozen for us. Stream is experiencing issues. Okay. Thank you for being in the chat, by the way, and letting them know what's going on. Ringses.
Yeah, of course. It's stressful. Streams always are like, insane.
Like worst case, we can turn off our we can essentially turn off the webcam here.
Yeah. I think someone says that they can hear us fine in real time. It's just the video's a bit frozen.
Okay.
Yeah. You could always turn baseball graphics down. I know that's not like
baseball graphics.
Like the graphics of the video game itself.
Oh, it's on the PlayStation.
Oh, that's fancy.
Yeah. Oh, that person's girlfriend is home. Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
Who do you know who's here on your end?
Actually today we're doing pretty good. I think it's just Silver. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So like, yeah, caught us at a good time for once.
It's true.
Yeah, we've had like 40 minutes of like figuring out who we are this week.
Oh, jeez.
It's been a real fun time, but like we're vibing. It's good. I'm gonna mute for a sec.
Okay. Okay, so seeing the Fall Guys reminded us of what? There is someone posted a like loading symbol. Skip frames motherfucking detected again.
We're back. Our girlfriend got socks.
Yay.
They're gay socks, which is nice.
Oh, nice.
Gay corporate socks. Gay corporate socks. Oh, they can hear you again. But that's okay. It's just.
You didn't even use the detector.
No, I didn't.
Okay, let me see where the encoder settings are, because I'm just gonna lower the encoder settings.
The stream is seeing some baseball, I think.
Does it look like it's like not shitty?
I think it just looks shitty. It's shitty baseball. Oh.
The video unfroze. What?
Yeah, the video unfroze for a bit. Yeah, I think it was when we turned off our screens. I think that's right when it lined up, if I remember correctly. So.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Stream.
There we go. Baseball bad.
Streamlabs encoder settings.
It's no context baseball chat, because we don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I really wish our computer was good enough to do both things. But apparently it's not.
Oh well. That's how it is sometimes. I mean, the most important part is our voices. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The baseball is just a thing in the background.
Exactly. Yeah.
Smoother now. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah. So, system stuff. How's everyone doing tonight as we throw the first pitch with one of our star pitchers, Buck Crane from United States of Terra?
Oh gosh, I forgot you did UST baseball.
Yeah. And we actually got Max as a catcher today, too.
Oh, good. Max. It's been so long since I've watched that show. I remember we watched it like back like when season 3 was coming out, I think.
Really? Ah,
Yeah.
historic events.
Historic events, I think. Or maybe like we just thought it was coming out. I think if you like if I Google the dates I'd be able to know, but like it was sometime like 5 or 6 years ago. And I just remember it was like good until season 3, and then I just like progressively hated it more and more.
Yeah. Like, Audrey has, I'm fucking dissociating because she's got shit to say. She actually has kind of a weird soft spot for Alive Season 3, and as a character kind of likes Bryce. But that's shit she'll go into in her video that will eventually come out.
I mean, I don't know if we recognize that name because we got like 2 episodes in and then quit. I think it was like the obvious persecutor and like right away that just turned us off.
Yeah.
You know, like we got it to like right when he like destroyed the painting, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to see this anymore.
Oh, that okay. Yeah, you went like 4 episodes into the series, right? Because destroying the painting is season 1, or if maybe.
No, it was later, I think, because they didn't introduce the persecutor till like later in the season. I don't know, or maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. It's been so many years, and we have a memory disorder, so like, who knows?
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah. Also, someone said, I know nothing about baseball. Is Mungo Jerry a real baseballman, or is he a Jellicle cat? He's a Jellicle cat. I've made a bunch of, like, pop culture characters along with, like, Monster Factory style characters and also some real people. The chat's pretty far back. So, yeah. That's that. If anyone in the chat has questions about like system stuff, go right ahead and ask them, because we are all ears for this.
There's a whole bunch of people talking about vibing with a recent post, and I honestly have no idea what post they're talking about.
Yeah.
Someone else wrote that.
You made a.
I know there was Twitter posts. But someone talked about Instagram stories. I don't know. Memories.
I didn't see any Instagram stories, but you guys made some Twitter threads today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, someone got angry. But yeah, we're proud of them.
Yeah.
It was one of those things of like, which also means whoever like talked with you guys before we started streaming setup, they were like, oh, those were my Twitter threads I wrote, which means we're also not the same person, which is wild.
True.
And like I can like feel that. OSTD be like
one of the other Silver Squad, I guess.
Yeah, probably. I'm willing to bet it might have been like Aaron or like the other Silver that still hasn't named themselves.
That makes sense. Yeah. Is that the one you guys call S?
Yeah, S.
Yeah.
Which is weird because Spike used to go by S.
Oh, that's true.
Like, I'll just call myself Spike, and now there's different S.
Nope.
So, oh well.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently there's straight up a couple of minutes of delay with the chat, so that's something. But, yeah. I mean, the way that we talk about system stuff, we tend to go on one topic for a while anyway. So, you know.
Yeah. The stream is just pitching the first pitch.
Just the first pitch?
It's now the first pitch, I think.
Why is the chat? I don't know why the chat is delayed.
Now we're looking at St. Louis Cardinals and Colorado Rockies 0-0-0-0-0-0.
Oh. Yeah, I'm actually in like the second out of the bottom of the first right now.
Wow.
So,
I think it was like the really like all the skipped frames at the beginning of the stream.
yeah, probably. Come on. Oh. So, yeah.
Oh well. Someone asked why the chat is delayed. I'll just respond to them right now so they get a quick answer.
That sounds like a good idea. The answer is basically because we are either our internet or our computer cannot handle both streaming and Discord at the same time, apparently.
Yeah. Well, we're doing good.
Yeah.
This works.
It works, just not quickly.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Well, you got the most important thing done.
What?
That it works.
Yeah, that works. Ooh. Alright, that's the end. So.
My buddy.
Archer.
Anyone remember that pixel drawing that Claudia showed on a stream of the guy in the cape? I thought the guy looked like Danny DeVito. It's actually, Larry David, like co-creator of Seinfeld. He does look like Danny DeVito in that picture. So, Ringses.
Yeah.
Someone asked, bonjour, I'm currently a new member fronting at the moment. I'm having an identity issue right now. Any tips? By identity issues, I mean that I don't know what my name is or anything about myself. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think when I like look at someone else having this, I find it very easy to be like reframe as like, oh, this is an exciting thing because that means you can explore things about yourself. But like obviously in the moment it doesn't feel that way. So
Yeah.
like, I find it at that level. But like it is an opportunity to like think about like just like look around you and like look at the things you have and like for example, I have a blanket on the couch next to me. Do I like being under the blanket? Do I like being next to the blanket? Do I like the blanket at all? Just like simple things like that, and then like working up with interacting with your environment and just paying attention to how you interact with it, and that can give you a lot of clues to like look at, figure out who you are, and start like stepping stones towards that.
Yeah, I very much agree. I think that, like, find one thing that you can experiment with, like, whether you like or not. Like, are you able... Well, I mean, it's, like, it's kind of late at night here, but if you're in a part of the world where it is not 9 p.m. right now and it's a normal thing maybe to drink coffee at this time, see if you can drink some coffee.
Someone else, are we good to move on, or
Yeah, go right ahead.
Next person asked the question of, we just thought of setting up a personal Instagram for system communication. Has anyone else tried that? First thought is that we like a private Discord server better. And second thought, if you're going with the private Instagram, there is an entire app called My Instagram, so MY Instagram. That's an offline version of Instagram, and it has more features for like communication. Like there's a calendar of all of your separate accounts put together, which is really cool. So I highly recommend that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a neat little app. It's one of those ones that's meant for like quote unquote role playing. So I think they'll typically like refer to like each profile as a character, but just, you know, it's one of those things where you just kind of gotta ignore it in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a ball and no strikes. No score here as we play
Someone's asking if we can talk about dissociation symptoms.
Like what? Like just about... Oh, alright.
Because I think they're dissociated. Also, stellar cascade.
Oh, yeah, I was actually talking to them earlier today, the Iscariots.
Oh, yeah, that is the Iscariot. I'm like, is that the Iscariot? No, it's a different name. That's
Yeah,
the Iscariot?
that's the Iscariots.
Yeah.
They were asking if, like, losing focus in your vision was a like, symptom of dissociation, or, like, a thing that we had experienced in dissociation, and the answer is very much yes.
Oh my gosh, all the time.
Th
Yeah.
there have been multiple streams that we've done where like we straight up cannot read the chat for like a couple of minutes because we're dissociating so hard.
Mhm. Yeah.
With the 0-2. And a half-hearted swing there.
Yeah. We just can't read when we're dissociated.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when you like stay up for like 23 hours straight and then you tried to read like a scientific paper? It's like that. I don't know if that's an experience people can relate to, but
Kevin James.
Yeah. Tell me, what, like, do you guys get the, like, spinning room thing a lot?
not as much. Like, only when it's really, really bad do we get like room movement, but not often, not frequently, no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we get, when, like, getting heavy dissociation. Like, especially if something, like, startling happens, the entire room just goes, like, womp.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
Aggressive swings out of him to start this.
Ugh.
He hasn't been able to put the ball in play. Time to use that aggressiveness.
So,
There's more questions, but my brain is zonking out.
that's fair.
We might actually like switch on stream, but like, shh, don't tell anyone.
Okay. I'll try not to.
Yeah.
The second inning. I like that.
Oh, someone talked about they were talking about baking bread, and they were like, normally Oklahoma bakes the loaf, and I'm just like, hey, shout out, we have a state name altered too.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that one of our friends in one of the Discord servers that we're in, they're a singlet, and they said that their name was inspired by like state names as well, like similar to yours, very similar to yours. Theirs is Washington.
Ah, we have a friend with a Texas in their system.
Nice.
So, so many state names.
How does the private Discord thing work? We need a phone app. We need a phone app way to communicate. Fuck. Things just don't get written down. Yeah.
So first you have to have Discord, and then secondly, what you do is you basically create a server like any other server, and then you just don't invite people to it. You can invite plural kit. That's really helpful because then you can actually like use plural kit to talk, and it's really nice. But then that's pretty much it. You just have a Discord server, and you can set up whatever channels you want, and we have like journaling channels, and like notes channels, and like things we want to bring to and from therapy. I'm gonna go click over to it right now because I can look.
Yeah.
And then we have a channel for each alter, and we collapse that category almost constantly because we can't have 40 channels clogging up our Discord all the time. And then we have a whole bunch of stuff like drafts and pathing lists and things we're saving, and like a whole bunch, like an entire section just for like cool papers that we found. And so just really like whatever you want to put in there. And it's been really useful.
Yeah. We don't do that ourselves. Oh, could that be? Okay. Sorry for a second. I thought that might have been a home run. We've been using our planner more, and we use like notes apps and stuff. And our like actual internal communication has been getting better. So it's that's what we've been using lately, but I've heard that Discord stuff, I mean, like you guys like swear by Discord stuff.
That's the only thing that's been consistent. We've like started a journal, and then we like started being perfectionists with the journal, which made us stop doing the journal, and then we started like Evernote, and we made a whole organization system, and then we stopped using Evernote. It's very hard to maintain consistent, but because we use Discord for like literally everything else, we always use it. So it's really nice.
Yeah. Someone said they were in love with the Rockies baseball mascot. He's very cute. I don't know what his name. I'm gonna assume his name is probably Rocky, but he's this Triceratop rings.
Triceratop?
Yeah.
Ring?
Sorry, I was Triceratops, comma rings, and then I remembered that you know who's fronting, so I can just say silver.
Oh
People are talking about switching on stream now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, she switched live on Kia's stream. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're also talking about, someone asked the question, you guys would be good for this,
Mhm.
because we don't struggle with it, but someone was like, do you guys struggle with making choices with how to spend your time, what to invest in? If so, do you guys have ways to help it?
So we've gotten to the point where, like, if it's not a big choice, whoever's fronting just gets to make the choice, and everyone else can either take control of the front or they can suck it up. So, like,
The lineup top to bottom looks like they
yeah, I don't know. It's with big decisions though. It's a lot harder, especially big decisions that need to be snap decisions. It's something that like having a set number of people who are like the like council people is good for, like having like me, Sandra, Susan, and Camilla being like, you know, the people who make the decisions. That's one thing that really helps us.
Swung on and lifted down the left field line. And that is down as
What are your thoughts?
through first and Hustler.
I don't know if we really have thoughts, because we're very loosey-goosey with that stuff. It's just kind of like, okay, whoever friends does the stuff. I mean, that's very well, like, exemplified by us cutting our hair at 2 in the morning. That was just like a month ago now. I mean, it's fine. I think especially because we've still had a whole bunch of people go like, wait, why is our hair this long? Even after cutting it recently. So I mean, it was just earlier today, someone was like, why is the hair this long? So,
Like, it was too long or too short?
too long. Or like just questioning why it's so long.
That makes sense. That's surprising though, because I mean, you guys have had long hair for like a long time, right?
Yeah, that's true. I think it's less of like not being used to it and more of like mismatched body image. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like having short hair in the inner world.
Yeah, like like how I want to shave our head.
Yeah.
Dude, did I tell you I got Doc Martens?
You got Doc Martens?
I did.
That'll be boot time.
Yeah, I wore them out when we saw a bug today.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh,
I'm so glad. Bug time.
yeah, we went and we gave him his scarf.
Oh, that's
Yeah, we were intending to have it done like last October. But we didn't. So he gets it now.
yeah. Also, someone's asking, is a private Discord like private or safe? Private, yes. Safe, I trust Discord more than other social media, but at the end of the day, like it's still susceptible to like phishing links and stuff. So it's not like 2-password authenticated, but it's like any other messaging app, except I trust it a little bit more.
Yeah. It's one of those things, if you're concerned about like someone finding it on your phone or whatever, like I get that, and maybe you should like oh bullshit. Sorry. Mungo Jerry got caught stealing. It's I don't know, password protect your phone. I don't think you can password protect Discord, but you might be able to like download like an external app that allows you to lock other apps. I feel like that's got to be a thing, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be a thing.
Also,
Yeah.
someone said the dinosaur mascot's name is Dinger, which is very cute.
There's an Alaska here.
Ah,
Even more states.
we got 32 viewers. Theoretically, we could potentially have 32 states in chat.
Ooh.
That's a majority of the union.
We can vote out the president. missed a question in the chat.
They're talking about switches and stuff.
I'm gonna look.
Also, someone.
There was a new question, so if you find a new question, you can ask.
Just a little late.
Also, someone mentioned self-talking, and that's also a really good app. We have that downloaded and tried to use it, but that was another thing that we're not able to maintain.
Line drive. That's gonna be
Yeah, I haven't used that one myself, but it's always seems like something that's good.
as we take a look.
It's honestly the reason that we use like physical stuff so much is because we're fucking lazy, and if there is an extra step in like making someone else like making a note that someone else took, like said this, like having to switch between profiles on the thing, then like I'm not gonna end up doing it.
That's so valid, yeah.
Swing apparently. Ball one.
Someone asks, how do you know if a system member could be non-human? If they look normal, but their thought process is absolutely whack. I don't know. You could ask them.
Yeah,
Like, that's their best thought.
maybe they're like a. Nah, that's foul. Maybe they're like a humanoid non-human, like they're a changeling or something.
Someone said, is it strange we consider our names to be triggers because seeing our names usually brings us closer to the front? No! We made a whole video on this. It's called the cocktail effect. It's
Yeah.
the reason why if you're in a room full of a whole bunch of people and they're all talking, like, the reason why it's named that is because of a cocktail party, because everyone's in a room and everyone's talking. And then you can't pick out anything specific, but when someone says your name, it suddenly brings out to you because your brain is trained to listen for your name and then pay attention to it if it's said. So like just the way that works, it also works to if someone says a system member's name, they hear it, they pay attention, and they come a little closer to the front, and it opens up the door a little bit more for them to take over the front and switch.
What's your favorite story about the cocktail party effect for your system?
That'll take a little while to think of because we don't have a memory.
Because I actually have one.
Oh, you do?
We were at a convention last year. Obviously last year because, you know. But we walked past a table full of, you know, gaming cubes. And Mads said, "Oh, dice." And Dice got real close to the front and made Saundra's head fucking spin. I think she was dissociated for like 2 hours.
I am
Oh,
still
wow.
very sorry.
It's okay.
Fastball.
Yeah.
Through it to fall behind.
We don't get it as much, but like
Probably anticipating.
in writing it's fine because we have a system named Aaron, spelled Erryn. No, let me type it out. I can't spell. Yeah, that's right.
Pretty boy is in for
I'm my brain is slipping myself out. I got it right the first time, but now it like doesn't look like a real word when I type it out. But Aaron in our system is Erryn, and our best friend's name is Aaron, Arron. And whenever we say them ourselves, it sounds the same. And also we don't have any mutual friends with Aaron, so we don't ever really hear his name too often. But every now and then we'll like either like our girlfriend will mention him, and we'll get really confused. And sometimes Aaron will pop to the front closer. So.
Yeah.
Weird coincidence.
Yeah. It's weird when hearing like other people with the same names as your system members. Like we were playing Phasmophobia, and the ghost's name was Susan. And so our friends were most of whom aren't familiar with our system, were like, Susan, are you here? And I'm having to like hold Susan back because she keeps wanting to be like, yes, just like on reflex.
Yeah.
They'll have the leadoff man aboard to start the inning.
Oh, it's true.
Catch us like yes,
Matt says they have a system member named Cat, and whenever we call Archer Cat, they're like, yes, hello. Also, someone before said that Rhino on our team looks like he could be a character in Moana.
That's so valid. Someone said Olive, one of our alters, did come to the front because of Olive's on pizza recently, which is tragic because she doesn't like them.
Oh no.
He'll make it to first easily on what'll almost certainly be ruled an infield single.
Folks
That's
are talking about incredibly long switches now.
incredibly long switches.
Yeah.
The longest switch I can think of was like pretty early on in our discovery. It was, I think, me to Glow, and it was a 40-minute switch.
Oof.
It was bad.
Soft liner to the right side, but this is
Oh, I might jinx it, but I think we're switching.
Oh, okay.
Alright,
I'll just
we'll
talk about baseball.
I'll figure it out 5 minutes after it happens anyways.
That's valid. Someone said, well, now I, Aaron, am fronting. Thanks, Silver.
Triple Aaron.
hard on the ground towards short, and that's through into left, a base hit. And they'll
It's Aaron, right? I'm gonna go check in our alter channels. Yeah, I got it's ERRYN. Yeah.
Someone said their longest switch was 8 hours. Jeez.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine because we've definitely been dissociated that long, but like, oof.
Yeah. Is that me? I thought I heard my own voice from your phone. Oh no. I don't know Spanish. So yeah, that sounds like a bad day for switching.
Yeah.
Most of our switches now are like seconds long, if not, I was gonna say if not shorter, but like, how much shorter can you get, really?
Yeah.
and the third baseman will have it, but this is back into the seats.
Sorry.
Someone's talking about common system names.
Common system names. I've heard so many systems have names Alex and Kyle like we do. Oof. Awkward. Our whole system's name is Alex.
Someone asks, does it make sense that some of us don't like to front because of gender dysphoria? Yeah.
Yeah. Robin doesn't front anymore because of dysphoria. We have made the body uninhabitable to him, apparently.
Into the windup, and the a fastball that just misses inside.
Someone's talking about Max.
Oh, Max, yeah. Yeah, we have...
Hello, sir.
We have Max catching and buck pitching.
Oh, the boys.
Oh, the boys. Boys' night.
I'm thinking about that scene where they threw darts together,
Yeah.
except this time it's baseballs.
Yeah.
On and hit the second.
Throw it. Jeez.
Ground out, one away.
So...
Hopefully there's not too much background crunching. Is there background?
No, I'm not really hearing
It's
anything.
okay. They don't hear anything, so you're good. Our girlfriend is being a chip gremlin. Potato chips.
Nom nom nom. What kind of chips?
What kind of chips, love?
I was having Cheez-Its and now I ate some.
Cheez-Its and then barbecue chips.
Ooh. Someone said having hair that can be styled masculine or feminine helps us a lot. That makes sense. I don't know. Our hair can kind of be like that now, but we work very hard to make it feminine.
talking about undercuts.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
don't get us too excited.
He does. 7
Or we'll cut off all our hair again.
down in order go the Cardinals.
Are you guys still real dissociated over there?
It's not like real dissociated, because like sometimes you can switch without being like super dissociated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So like we aren't like super dissociated. It's just like we felt it a little bit. It's like kind of like when you go up a roller coaster and your stomach drops out.
Mm.
So we felt that, but it's like not quite the same because like the roller coaster one is more visceral, where this one's more like subtle. So yeah. I don't know, we'll figure it out. It felt like a slow, like a drop and then a slow stretch until it's done. So we'll let you know if like we realize at some point we switched, and then we'll update you on names.
Fair.
But like, still call us Silver one.
Okay. Silver until proven otherwise.
Exactly.
Yeah. How often would you say... Okay, so like, I feel like most of our switches now are almost dissociation-free. Like, I mean, they're obviously not dissociation-free because, like, dissociation is... The actual act of switching is dissociation. Also, I'm going to turn down my mic a little bit. Cause...
It's like a different type of dissociation, though.
Yeah.
Like, we use a system with our therapist of like positive, neutral, negative dissociation. Or like switching is a positive dissociation, and then neutral dissociation is like the daily background fuzz, and the negative is the like I'm triggered and dissociated.
Yeah.
They all kind of have different feels and have different effects. Yeah. So like switch with negative dissociation? Question mark.
That makes sense. Yeah. I very much appreciate your therapist saying that switching is positive dissociation.
Yeah. We love our therapist. It's like sometimes we feel like we don't love her, but it turns out we're just having therapy anxiety. Because we're like, what if there's a better therapist out there? What if we're like not doing therapy right? What if we're like, but then she's great. So
That's wonderful.
yeah.
Someone said, anyone else get the rapid switching thing where it feels like, hang on.
A few
Where
of you are stuck in a revolving door.
Thank you.
All good.
Yeah, we call that Rolodexing.
Yeah, we haven't had that in a while. We just call it rapid switching.
Yeah. It's rough. I feel the thing we more often have when we're like upset is we're all like blended at once. Like, I'm gonna give it a silly name. I'm gonna call it stooging because it's like when the Three Stooges all try and fit through a door at the same time.
It's so valid. Someone asked a question about ADHD and systems. I mean, we don't have ADHD, but we have some symptoms because we're autism. I have no idea how it affects us. I have not put thought into that.
What are your thoughts on ADHD and was it switching or just systems?
It was systems, just generally. Curious to how it affects y'all.
Yeah, what's curious to how what? Oh,
Curious to how ADHD affects you guys. I feel we're very prone to rapid switching, and our internal communication can be less than stellar.
Someone said that how it affects you. They feel they rapid switch a lot, and their communication is less than stellar.
I mean, I haven't experienced the rapid switching so much, at least that I know of, unless we're listening to music in the car. Yeah. Communication isn't great, but I'm also not living in a safe situation right
Those kind
now.
of things can absolutely kill you.
So I don't know if it's ADD per se, or just not feeling safe.
Yeah, we live with their parents. Which is why it's not a safe situation. I felt I should explain that.
Oh yeah. No, not because of you.
Gonna get
Chord
us
Gang-
canceled.
Chord Gang asks, related to what Alexandria System said 2 minutes ago, is switching something that gets smoother over time / with practice?
Yeah. Yep. In my experience.
Yeah.
Where it ends up isn't that big of a concern, but that wasn't the
I
case.
feel like
Or slash.
Pitch fastball right on the
Not doing
corner
any of
at
the
the
game
knees.
right now.
Good luck hitting that one.
Here's Dexter Fowler.
You feel like what?
Pitch fastball for ball one.
Someone said the Gianu system is live on TikTok, muscling in on our audience.
on our audience.
Yes.
Ethereal system, you go in there and you tell those sons of bitches that we love them.
And no errors so far for the Redbirds.
You smell like barbecue chips. Sorry. Her girlfriend's here.
And there are two gone now. And no at second. He'll
Okay.
get there with two away now.
You can't expose me like that.
I already exposed you for the barbecue chips.
You can't tell me my stinky.
I wouldn't say barbecue chips.
Actually, let's hang on.
I'll take this moment
Yeah.
to scooch by.
Okay, hang on.
Do
Let me...
anything?
Yeah, I have to turn off the webcam if you're gonna scooch by.
Down the mound, but it doesn't mean a
Scooch.
standing control to go along with it. But he does, and he really spotted that pitch.
I'm gonna open up TikTok and type to the Gianu system and say, hey.
Our prime real
Night, love you.
estate.
I love you, sweetie. Hey, we're streaming to LOL.
Camera back on.
Oh, yeah, thank you. They're talking about their book.
Oh, good.
Ah. Okay. Oh, they're still going apparently. How do I turn off TikTok? There we go. Okay. Anyway. So that was something. You guys still there, Ringses? I think you said that you need to take care of something.
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're here. We were just chatting with our girlfriend for a bit. We were in TikTok, but we're back.
Valid.
Yeah. Oh, someone says hi to you. Arwen. I can't.
Oh, that's someone I know. Okay.
No, it's just okay. Okay.
One left for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't think there's any conversations in chat. So is there anything that's on your mind?
In general, I've been thinking about, I guess just system community stuff a lot lately. How, I don't know. I think that the system community is something that, is very much in flux a lot of the time, and I think that, I don't know what I want to say. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's working so
What?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying hi. Let me. Someone said I was quiet, but I don't know
Someone
if
said
it's,
you
like,
were
'cause
quiet?
I'm actually quiet. Yeah, or like it was just that little bit when we were talking to Evan quietly.
It might just be that little bit.
Has it been the whole time, or just a little bit? I'm gonna put it in the chat so we can get on it faster.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I'm back to talking normally.
Good.
Here he comes on a ball and two strikes.
Nope, shouldn't have hit that. Can't even tell Rings is here. I can only hear Claudia, but I'm not mad. Really?
It might have been when we muted for a bit.
Yeah. So I guess we really gotta know for 3 minutes, in 3 minutes, if things are fine again.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Ah.
Go for it. Yeah. Oh, they said that sounds better now. So.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Fuck. Country Breakfast Pretty Boy is batting right now.
Country Breakfast Pretty Boy, I love him.
He is amazing, except he just hit a ground out. Yep.
Right. He says the whole time except for when you talk louder.
I'll
Oh, there's no more video. I can move the computer closer to me.
Oh yeah.
That's a thing.
But I can just turn you up too.
Alright. That works good. I can sit it on my lap like a real person. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Ugh. And then I can adjust and have a blanket and it'll all be good. Oh, the headphone cord got caught in the blanket.
Nope.
I don't think we can really hear you from over here.
I can very barely hear them.
Yeah. Alexander, it says they can very barely hear it. They very barely heard the giant clink, so you're good. Yeah, don't worry too much. You're good. Also, I think my Discord sensitivity mic thing is turned down, so it's harder to hear that. Okay. Yeah, they said they can hear us now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like the voices to game sounds difference on this one. Good. Good. Yeah.
Oh, is that the duck chaining?
Yeah. The chain ducking.
Chain ducking.
Yeah. I made an extra little adjustment to turn down the game volume like a little bit more. So that Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, and Harold Reynolds wouldn't overtake us.
I love your names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're you know, I've been playing this with one of our friends as well, and for some reason Matt Vasgersian, like the main announcer, his voice just makes me want to like do an imitation of him saying conspiracy theories in the middle of his like baseball commentary. Like, the count is 2-2, and of course the Earth is flat.
No. God. I haven't thought about flat earthers for a hot second.
Yeah, they're all around the world.
Gosh. The only valid flat earther meme is the Facebook post by a flat earther thing that's like, there's flat earthers all around the globe.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Everyone's like, sound is so much better now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Ringses, you'll be happy to know that I just pitched the 69th pitch of the game.
Gosh, that reminds us of, we have a whole bunch of mantises, and we numbered all of them, right? So they all have numbers in our cup.
Mhm.
And first couple went to some good friends of ours in the area, and so we were like, do you have any numbers that you'd like? And they were like, can I have mantis number 69? And quick trigger warning for drugs, they just named him just recently. I think they named him, oh god, it was something, I'm scrolling up here at chat so I can find it.
Mhm.
Oh, Speedweed. Speedweed mantis number 69.
Ario Speed
yeah.
Weed Wagon.
Anyway.
Someone said, I think at night about how I want to be Country Breakfast Pretty Boy.
Country Breakfast Pretty Boy is the best boy.
He's wonderful. I'm very glad that I chose that for his like pronounceable name.
I love him very much. Someone asks a real question that's talking about plurality stuff again. Is it normal to dissociate heavily to the point where you can't move? I feel like my first response to this is like, it depends on what you consider normal. Like, is it normal for like the general population to do that? No, not really. Is it normal for someone with DID to do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like normal is relative, but if you have DID, yeah, it happens.
Yeah, we've never had like catatonic dissociation. But we know others who do. It's very inconvenient, it sounds like. And I imagine like really scary.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
We've had it a handful of times, and most of them were like a long ways ago, like back like 7 to 8 years ago ish. So like back in early system days, and then before we knew we were a system. So when we were in much more not good situations, but we haven't had that for like at least a couple years, which has been really nice.
That makes sense, yeah. Also, they said it's kind of scary because it happens late at night and we can't talk to anyone to help. I'm going to ask a question that is probably going to sound patronizing, but are you sure that this isn't sleep paralysis? Because, the whole thing with sleep paralysis is that, like, you're awake, but your body doesn't know that you're awake, essentially, to put it very simply. And I can imagine that probably feels like dissociation, too.
Is there like anything you can do for sleep paralysis? I'm just thinking like, would it be helpful to distinguish what they are?
I don't know.
Because like, my understanding is there's not much you can do for like either situation. You just kind of be like vibe. Sometimes like if you have catatonia, if you like have someone else bring like really strong sense, like to like ground you.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I do know the thing that helps with sleep paralysis. If you're awake but you can't move, don't open your eyes, start wiggling your toes or trying to wiggle your toes, and that'll like start your body acting up. If you open your eyes, you're going to like hallucinate.
Oh, lovely.
Also, someone said of all the spicy conspiracy theories to choose from these days, flat Earth, really? Why?
There's so many better options.
There are, but I wanted to go with something pretty inoffensive.
That's true. I feel like flat earthers are like the butt of every joke nowadays. Like, there's not too much harm they can do, you know?
Yeah.
It's just vibe. It's like, it's flat. It's not like COVID deniers or something.
Yeah.
I feel like in saying that, there's secretly harm that they can do that I'm just not aware of.
I mean, the harm that they can do is that it's like a gateway to other conspiracy theories, I guess, or it's just...
That's true.
But at the same time, it's like... I don't know. If you're the type of person who... I don't know. I'm not going to go any further than that.
Someone a ways up asked, is there any hotline or online chat you could use when you need help? Yes. Do we know which one? Trans Lifeline is good. Trans
Lifeline is good.
yeah.
I mean, depending on what it is, the rain hotline was very helpful to Sandra. There's a suicide hotline. There's the plural warm line. I think that's up and running, right?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like they'd make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to think about. The plural warm line may be a thing.
Possibly in the future. There's also Health Justice Commons ? I don't know if that's the right organization. Is trying to set up a medical abuse hotline, which I'm for. It got delayed because COVID, but they were like two-thirds of the way through training the people who would staff it, which is really important because there's the only other place to talk to is like lawyers if you've gone through medical abuse, and that's not financially available for some folks.
Yeah. There's also, a statute of limitations and stuff. Like, if we wanted to like, So the last stream, like sit down chat stream that we did, we talked about a doctor who we were pretty sure tried to intentionally invoke a like bipolar episode in us.
Oh.
Like that's only good for like 3 years. Like we couldn't pursue that anymore.
Again, he sends it out of play.
Mhm. Yeah. That's real. That's real. Not great.
Yeah.
Not great, TM.
TM.
I wish this like community as a whole, like, recognized and validated medical abuse more.
Yeah. It's okay, here's the thing. We're getting into it now. I'm going back to the community thing. So
Me, one tiny community discourse, Claudia. Let's go.
the
I
thing
feel like we got switched again. Does that make sense? Can you hear the tonal difference in our voice?
very slightly,
feel-
yeah.
Yeah, just slightly. I don't know what it is. Oh well.
So the thing that
Right down the middle for a strike.
heck. Okay, so the thing that really bothers me about the go-to thing where people are like DID is caused by repeated childhood trauma, a thing that a lot of systems say is repeated severe childhood abuse or something along those lines. They use the word abuse. And that is not true for every system and really invalidating to systems who, one, have trauma, but two, do not have abuse in their history. Like, I cannot emphasize enough how shitty a phrasing that is, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. And like it also like puts people into the position of like needing to call what they went through abuse and trauma.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Because there's still people who struggle to call it abuse.
Yeah.
I just have a whole bunch of issues with the just the severe emphasis of focus on trauma, because then they have issues like you need to know because then you have people digging up their trauma. You have people like feeling invalid because they don't have memories of their trauma. You have people like, it's a lot. We had a whole bunch of more concrete thoughts on this at some point, but I think we lost them.
That's fair.
There's a lot of ways of phrasing that put a whole bunch of burden on systems that shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mhm.
Grab a bat and hit for the pitcher here.
Number 62, Fred Flynn.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking shitty. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Or like people will remember one kind of trauma, but not remember like different types of trauma or earlier trauma, and that puts them in a whole nother like doubt thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, did Fred Flintstone just hit a home run?
Hell yeah, friend.
Oh, no, he did not,
Fred
but that's
Flintstone.
okay. Anyway, like, oh, if people recognize medical trauma as valid, we wouldn't have imposter syndrome. Hey, as a system that... Fuck it. As a system that was most likely formed because of medical trauma, you are so fucking valid. You are not only welcome here, you get a primo seat. Oh, get that picture out of there. You get a special seat in this house.
That'll do it for the starter tonight.
VIP box for medical trauma.
Yeah.
So the best he can hope for.
Hate that the keyword is always abuse and not trauma. I think the chat's starting to catch up.
Yeah, a little bit. At some point, people were talking about like, wow, the stream is really skipping ahead. I think it's trying.
Whoops.
If we missed anyone's questions that might have been cut by the stream skipping ahead, please like say them again. So
Yeah.
we can get. If we ever like miss your question, just like say it again. Bug us, poke us with the long stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we had a mutual on Instagram, and their friend had a birthday party, so they made like 6-foot sticks and poked each other with it.
That's cute. Also, while we have this little lag in questions, I thought I would update you. Go home, Fred. Go home. End this tie. Please, Fred! Yes, he's safe! We broke the tie. Okay, so... let me explain what happened. So... we're at the bottom of the 8th inning right now. It was a tied 0-0 game up to this point. But, Fred Flintstone hit a double, and then Jordan Patterson hit him home. So that's where we're at for baseball. Are you?
Definitely not silver anymore, but don't know who it is.
You sound very proper.
Thanks. Someone.
Sounds more Diane-y.
We were thinking that too. A little bit, Diane.
Yeah. Oh, no. Goodbye.
We're still give it a hot second though, because like you can hear the silver a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Whew.
Feel like I was trying to formulate an insightful thought with regards to trauma and then got distracted by seeing Paul Blart in the lineup. Yeah, he's our star pitcher.
We love Paul Blart.
Not to be confused with Kevin Smith, who is one of our star hitters. Ooh.
There's no such thing as trauma that has to be X amount of severity to have the ID. There's no... Severity of trauma is all individual. What's severe to one person won't be severe to the next person. If you have the ID, that means whatever you went through is severe enough.
Yep.
There's your answer.
I couldn't have said it better myself. They're walking Kevin Smith. Or Kevin James, pardon, wrong Kevin. Yeah, so like... I couldn't have said it better myself. That's what else needs to be said other than, like... other than you're valid.
Yeah.
It's your brain's reaction to trauma that makes it do the thing, not the actual event itself. Yeah, chat is caught up now.
Also, like, it depends a lot about the support you have afterwards.
Yes.
So, like, if two people go through a car crash, and one of them, like, doesn't have any support, and their parents are dismissive of the event and their trauma, and one person has really supportive parents and goes to, like, a support group and gets really good therapy, only one of them is going to develop PTSD, and it's going to be the person without support. It's heavily dependent on, like, whether you can actually process the trauma right after it happens. Because PTSD is, like, there's a certain time frame that you have to wait for it to become PTSD. And if you can process it before that time frame in, like, a healthy and normal manner, then you're not chronically traumatized.
Yeah.
Opposite. Yeah.
And, you know, like, people... I think people assume that at some point, like, you will know your trauma, like, the one. Like, our therapist... Yeah, no, first of all, not necessarily, at least. But our therapist suggested, like, that not only our trauma, but, like, any systems trauma could have been initially caused by pre-verbal attachment trauma. Like, something that happened when you were a baby that, like, you couldn't form a secure attachment, like, in the earliest stage of your life. That's the ending. In the earliest stage of your life, and that just fucked you up from there.
And because, like, using our normal psychology background, TM, if you have trauma before, like, the verbal stage, you actually don't process the memory normally, because our entire systems of memory changes fundamentally right about the time we start, like, conceptualizing objects differently. It's a really weird part of childhood development, and, like, it would take me, like, 30 minutes to properly explain it. But, like, before this, the way we store memories and process memories changes. If trauma happens before that, we actually, like, can't remember it the same way. And that's when body memories happen, because that's how we process memories in a very emotional, bodily way, and, like, process the world in an emotional and bodily way. So that's how it's stored, versus conceptually and verbal memory storage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, someone is talking about someone who's not a safe YouTuber. Is that person in the chat right now, and or should I kick them if they are? I don't know. You're seeing this in the chat, right?
Yeah, I don't see them.
Yeah, I don't see them either.
Let me look.
So yeah. Sounds like they're kind of gross people. Anyway, someone also asked about autism and DID, and how they interact. And let me say, my normal thing of if you're a system, you are probably autistic, parentheses, or you might have ADHD.
And that'll bring up 11.
Yeah, we're still caught in the middle of the switch, but
Yeah.
like worse.
You're so valid, I'll talk more.
Okay.
I think that some of us have different, like, different senses are heightened on different members of our system. Like, like my eyes are really sensitive to light, and I'm like really touch sensitive, whereas like some of us are way more sensitive to sound and need to very subtly plug our ears in public or in like one-on-one conversations sometimes. The way you subtly do that is you kind of like, if you have an armrest or something, you lean your elbow on that and just kind of lean your hand against the side of your head, but really you're pressing your earlobe, or not your earlobe, but like the little thingy right above your ear hole, just into your ear. That's what I do.
Someone's asking to define sensory issues, quick.
Define sensory issues. Define sensory.
Quick shout out to our partner for accidentally saying microwave your laundry.
Okay, Scribbler's got to it. Sensory issues are like certain sounds, textures, smells, etc. that are overwhelming for you compared to normal people. And by normal people, we of course mean allistic people. So, yeah, for us, like some of us are more sensitive than others for specific things. We've been feeling more unsafe than usual for no obvious reason, and we've tried telling people who ask why, and we have no idea. Is that an amnesia thing or something else? It might be an amnesia thing, but it could be something else. Please do not be a home run. Ugh, son of a bitch.
It could also just be like an environment thing, or like maybe it's a traumaversary and you don't know it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like something happening that you just weren't aware of in the environment that's like triggering you without your knowledge. That's a thing that can happen.
Yeah. I feel like system stuff is just constantly playing a guessing game.
Yeah. It's like, roll the dice, what do I have to guess today?
At the Alexandrite system, that's what it is for us. What is it for you? I'm sorry, I didn't... Is it the sensory stuff?
That lag.
The game is tied again, by the way, because Beetlejuice gave up a 2-run home run. So it's oh, we're also light sensitive. Okay. I kind of forgot what we were talking about. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. We're out of it too. I think we're like solidifying. I just don't know who I am, so I'm gonna go look at our spreadsheet.
A screaming base hit here, his first of the night. He's around first, heading for two. And your go-ahead run in at second base with nobody out.
People are like on camera, and secretly it's just really messy.
Yeah. Switching on camera fucking sucks.
We like switched on camera once, and it was between Silver and Lorian, except Lorian was like kind of confronting and working through it with Silver before they switched, so it like wasn't really, just kind of. Also, it was during our switching video, so.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. That was the first time that we saw a Switch that was like ours.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. We sent that to one of our friends, and we were like, this is what it's like when we Switch, right? And she was like, yep.
Can you give me an example of a Switch that's not like yours?
A Switch that's not like mine. I mean, dissociated style of switching, where it's like
Oh,
a lot of like long switching and like a lot of like, I don't know, like a lot of silence and stuff, and
like a lot of non-functional while switching, because
yeah,
something like just using our stream here is like we just switched, but like we've been chatting this whole time. There's never been a stop point where we've had to stop. It's just been like Silver and then like Mix, and now it's me, and I'm still working out who me is, but we'll get there.
that's so valid.
I'm
It's yeah, I don't know. It's difficult.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff in chat. Lots of autism. Self-diagnosis and autism. We could rant about self-diagnosis for a while.
Oh, go right ahead, dude. I need to work out of this horrible inning I'm in anyway.
Also, quickly, Stellaris Compound asks if, oh no, that was already answered. Someone in the chat got it.
Cool.
So I'm catching up on chat real quick.
Yeah, no, but
Oh, so I think it's just a self-diagnosis. Someone said next. You've not been diagnosed with OCD and we don't want a self-diagnosis, but we know we are a system. So maybe I will go on a rant about that.
yeah. Also, someone said that our both of our system names are cool, and I very much agree.
Oh, yay, thank you.
Thank you.
And someone's asking about the Discord, so while I go on the self-diagnosis rant. Oh wait, no, you're playing baseball.
Yeah.
I can get it after this rant. Anyways.
Sorry, real quick, someone asked if we've thought about making a Discord for our viewers and subscribers.
Let's grab it.
We actually have a Discord.
Link time, copy share link, but like edit it so it's like maximum 25 uses and it expires after a day. Save. Copy. I don't think there's more than 25 new people in the chat, and I don't want it to like last forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, self-diagnosis rant. This is getting in the way of me figuring out who I am. Oh, no, I'll think about it for a while. I might be Peach.
Oh yeah, you do sound like Peach.
Yeah. Okay. Most likely Peach. I'll figure it out after this. So. Gosh, there's so many different aspects to self-diagnosis. I shouldn't shut off the phone because I like did a big sigh and shut off the phone, but like, I need to see the chat. Anyways, there's so many different intersecting reasons why self-diagnosis is not only valid, but it's necessary, and like necessary to allow people to self-diagnose to be recognized in the community. I mean, first off, we have the fact that professional diagnosis is inaccessible, like straight up. People just can't access it for so many reasons, like whether that's because financially they can't access therapy, maybe there's no specialists in their area, maybe they just don't have time for therapy, maybe they're a single mom working a low income job and they just don't have time to go to therapy and that's not feasible for them. Maybe all the specialists in their area won't diagnose them with DID because they're a certain race and the psychiatrists in the area are really racist and they think that people presenting with DID symptoms always have schizophrenia because that is a diagnosis that's primarily given to Black folks, especially over things like DID. Maybe it's because it's someone who's assigned male at birth and is very mask presenting, so those psychiatrists seeing doesn't think they can have DID. There's so many things that can be going on that can be blocking someone from accessing professional diagnosis, and because there's so many people who don't have access, I'm gonna switch again. I'm switching because we're mad. Because there's so many people who don't have access. Steve right there. It's Silver again. Because there's so many people who don't have access to professional diagnosis. We like can't. It would just be wrong to exclude people from the community based on whether or not they have a professional diagnosis. It would mean we'd only be allowing people who don't have barriers like race and class and like just the area of the country they live in. That means we'd be excluding people based on those barriers, and that's inherently racist and classist and sexist for the community to do. Beyond that, secondly, self-diagnosis is a valid tool in and of itself. By saying self-diagnosis is not valid, we are also saying people who have gone through an X amount of year college degree are the only experts, are the only people who can know ourselves better than ourselves. And that's also something that's kind of problematic in and of ourselves, because just because you go through X amount of years of medical school doesn't mean you can override someone's lived experience and understanding of themselves. Especially because you don't know whether that person graduating medical school graduated at the top of their class or the bottom of their class.
Yep.
That's a piece of tea that we learned from our mother that we have held dear our whole life. We've talked about it before, is that you don't know whether the doctor you're seeing graduated with straight A's or like just skimmed by and like barely absorbed a single lecture they had. There are shitty doctors out there, and those shitty doctors shouldn't be able to override your understanding of self. And then thirdly, we were self-diagnosed for X amount of years before getting a professional diagnosis, and that was a very influential time in our system growth and development. And simply like those years gave us such a head start on understanding ourselves and like getting better that I just wouldn't change self-diagnosing at the time at all. It was one of the best decisions we made, and we'll stick by that. And obviously we were right, so yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the pushback to self-diagnosis doesn't actually understand what it is.
Yep.
Because so many people are like, oh, you spend like a month thinking about this and then you're done, like it's a decision. Because any diagnosis, even professional diagnoses, are a journey. Things change over time. And just like professional diagnosis, you can be diagnosed with different things. You can be misdiagnosed. You can reevaluate your diagnosis. Same with self-diagnosis. It's a constantly evolving process. It's not, I think I have this. This is my best way of understanding my experience right now. And to deny people a best understanding of their experience in a community is something that we really, really disagree with.
Very good. Yep. What else can I say?
Okay. Yeah, that'll be a YouTube video at some point, but like, we're really struggling with YouTube lately.
Technically, it's a YouTube video right now.
Oh, that's true. But like, it's a stream, so people will have to watch the whole thing to find it.
I'll make a highlight.
It's okay. We'll put together something eventually.
Did you link the Discord, by the way?
I did link the Discord.
I don't think it showed up.
Oh.
Because people are asking.
Let me paste it again in chat. I'll do it again. No.
How do you tell if your therapist is good or not?
Do you feel comfortable with
Yeah,
them?
I was gonna say, do you like them? Like.
Yeah. If you want, there's like on our Instagram, we made a post. It's pink. And it has somewhere in there a huge list of red flags and therapists, so we can repost it to our story later. But if you just Google red flags and therapists, a whole bunch come up.
Yeah. My biggest one is, like, do you feel safe, like, disagreeing with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a huge one. Also, like, yeah, that's the biggest one, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, it sucks.
There's a whole bunch of questions. Someone asks, our social anxiety stops us from doing literally everything, including giving inane replies. Any advice for how to get over that last bit of anxiety and just interact with people?
Honestly, the thing that did for us is just kind of exposure therapy. A thing that really, like, helped our, our like phone anxiety was working a job where we had to like be on the phone a lot, which isn't an option for everyone, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are saying they're not seeing the Discord link.
I've put it in there twice now.
I'm
Maybe,
gonna
like,
try it myself.
yeah, maybe YouTube's blocking me.
Which is weird because we may do a mod.
Yeah.
Also, my controller is pulsing because I have people on first and second in the top of the 10th with 2 outs. God. It's a game. Create invite. Okay, good. And copy. Gonna go over to Firefox. And we're gonna go over to here. Just go to youtube.com. You can't. So how's it going? Still there, Ringses?
Yeah, we're reading the chat.
Okay.
Because we missed a question somewhere.
Valid.
Someone asked Peach. Yeah, one of our, alters nicknames is Peach. She's still kind of here. She says hi. But her full name is Calipia. So Peach is just a nickname. But, like, everyone just calls her Peach.
Cameron.
And then, the comment that I was looking for is someone said, I sort of feel invalidated when my switching doesn't take so long. I'm like, that's valid too. People have really quick switches.
Yeah.
You're good.
Honestly, like, once we just accepted that we have quick switches most of the time, life got a lot easier. There's that. OBS. Okay. I posted a link in the chat. Hopefully you guys were able to see that.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? Fuck.
Can you put it in the description?
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. Oh, like right now?
Or just wherever.
I might be able to do that right now.
Either now or later. Link will go in the description either now or later.
I just...
I'll put it in the chat without the...
Oh, I might have also just tweeted it, so that's good.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, there we go. I tweeted it without dots and like spaces and everything, and they got it.
Nice. Hey. Fucking hell. Anyway. Love
Anyways,
to troubleshoot.
People are still talking about therapists. Yeah.
So our biggest red flags are like, does your therapist believe you when you say things? Like there was this, the therapist that we were seeing when we found the system, didn't believe us. And she said that, not word for word, but she said, if you had DID, I would know.
Ugh.
Yeah. And she was also hesitant, hesitant to believe, to even humor the idea that Sandra might have OCD, which she 100% does. It was basically like, because we like do research and we like, we do research about mental illness stuff, then obviously we've just like convinced ourselves that we have the thing, right? There's no way that we could actually have it.
Oof. Yeah. Reminds us of the one therapist that was like, you guys are too smart to be traumatized.
God, that's fucking horrible.
I know, it's like, God forbid people who can perform well under capitalism of them have mental illness.
God damn it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the game.
I feel like there was another question I missed, but maybe we're just feeling switchy. I think we're switching again.
That's fair. So yeah, like, self-diagnosis is valid. Make sure your therapist is someone who believes you, and question everything. All cops are bastards. Black Lives Matter. Trans rights are human rights.
Yeah.
You know, all the stuff.
Mm-hmm. Also, for Cam is talking about their therapist experience. So I'll read the two comments. They're spaced out a little bit.
Yep.
First one is, we feel like our therapist is pretty linear. As soon as Cammy comes into a session, the therapist asks Cammy how they're doing since the last session, and they can't tell her anything that isn't on her agenda. She'll ask us what happened while we were away. Cammy feels like they can't take the wheel and they can't tell her the things they want to tell her. I feel like expressing this very thing that you just wrote in the chat to your therapist would be really helpful. I think like literally just writing that down on a sheet of paper and then not therapy is distance right now.
Yeah.
But like writing it down on a sheet of paper and like making like either handing it to her in person if you're seeing her in person, which maybe if you're living in a country that's doing better than the US right now, or like reading it aloud and like talking about those concerns, because when you express those concerns, then your therapist can work on them, and maybe you can think of a different opening to the session. Like maybe your therapist can be like, is there anything you want to bring to the table today? That's what our therapist starts out with. Our therapist is like, hey, has anything happened? Is there anything you want to talk about today? So like maybe working out an opening that feels good for both of you. Yeah.
Yeah. It really sucks when you feel like you're being like led around by your therapist, like led by the nose. I think that it's important to remember that your therapist works for you. Like
you fire your therapist.
Yep. In fact,
we
you can fire any of your doctors if you do not like them.
Yeah, that's our favorite phrase. We learned it from a close friend in our training a couple years back because they said it and they were like, I always like saying that you can fire your therapist because it really makes you feel like you're in the position of power.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the capitalism just turns on in your brain. Just like, you know, but it's a really good phrase.
Yeah.
Well, that's another single, another hit.
Yeah. The feel safe to disagree is a hard one. We never feel safe disagreeing with anyone, so it's a flag we can't say. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's that on abuse. Do I want a pinch runner for him? Maybe?
Someone is talking about bringing up amnesia to their psych, and it kind of stumping them. And it's one thing to not know what to do yourself, but another for a psych not to know what to do about your amnesia. Then like fire your psych and get another psych. I'm sorry, that's the truth of it. If your therapist is like, I don't know what to do, then just get another therapist. For the first like, I'd say maybe year after discovering our system, we were with a therapist that didn't know anything. Well, like a year. Gosh, timelines are hard. We discovered our system, we thought about it, we had a therapist for about a year. Our first therapist, and for about a year in that area. It was about a year after discovering the system, and we had her for about a year. But she didn't really know anything about DID or OSD at all. Like, we were figuring it out together. And while it was a positive experience, and she was helpful in other areas of our life, she, having now had two specialists who actually know what they're doing with DID, the help she gave me was nothing compared to what a specialist can help you with. It's like a whole nother level of understanding and support from a professional. And if you have that option, I highly encourage switching to a professional who specializes. I mean, if you have no options and there's no specialists in your area, like, by God, please see the general therapist, because they can still be very, very helpful, especially over time as you work with them more often.
Yeah.
But like to the point where if your therapist Silver's bleeding through again, it's just we were at someone else and now we're back at Silver, so we're like flipping back and forth. But to the point, if your therapist doesn't know what to do with amnesia, that's like not even DID. That's like amnesia. Just get another therapist. It's understandable when psychs don't know what to do with DID, but like amnesia should be a little bit more easy.
Yeah. I mean, what else is there to say?
Yeah. Here's one for y'all. Our host is starting to suspect that he has OCD. It's difficult to accept. Any advice on bringing it up to a therapist or just expressing the thoughts cohesively?
I would say make a list of the compulsions that you see and what seems to trigger them. Son of a gun. That was something that came for baseball but stayed for legitimately super helpful advice. Good. Like that's what helped for us. Like Sandra first brought it up in therapy, and by Sandra I might mean me. But like it's a dissociation time, friends.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just having a list ready so that you don't have to think of, like, when your therapist is like, what makes you think that you have OCD, you don't like freeze up. So keeping that list could be super handy. Golden rule: they who have the gold make the rules.
Yep. But like therapy should be free.
Yep.
But like, yeah. Yep. Odd random thought. There was someone who like, I don't know if it was someone new or someone who just didn't know who they were, but like, they were like, I'm not Silver, and I feel different from the rest of them. In the same way, orange is different from the rest of the colors, and they're valid.
Yeah, I think that's a good phrasing.
Yeah. I don't know, I just think about that every now and then. It's like kind of not Silver again.
That's valid.
I don't know, I think it's like a mix of a couple people who are all excited to be here.
No.
And like, whenever one of us gets excited about something, we push forward and pop out.
Silver Squad.
Silver Squad, plus Peach.
They're walking him. Why would you walk Jason? He's terrible.
No, Jason, no!
No, they're walking him so that he doesn't even have to pitch. Or he doesn't even have to hit. They're just bringing up the next person.
Is Jason... Do you want them to walk Jason?
Ideally, yeah. Jason can't hit for shit. Just put him on base. Who cares?
Jason goes straight to base.
Yeah. Yeah, we're right there with you. I've got Sandra around the corners here, like peeking in and out.
Someone says sorry for constantly triggering out Silver, and like, it's fine. It's a positive thing. I want to be here when I want to be here. It's good.
We made a tie game again.
A tie game?
Yeah, we're heading into the top of the 11th.
The top of the 11th. Oh yeah. Oh, we can't see our partner, which means they're either being a chip gremlin again. Oh, you're being a chip gremlin again! Oh, it's a mint gremlin this time. There we go.
Bread update. I mean, it didn't totally collapse in the oven, but it collapsed a little bit. Yeah, hopefully it turns out okay.
Collapsed bread is still good bread.
It's still bread. Also, I'm like, I should have maybe chosen a different game for like the stream where you guys come out, because I'm like, if the If the copywritten music that I stuck all through this game like triggers anything, I can't put ads on this video now, and there goes my rings money.
There goes your rings money. Is there copyrighted music?
Oh, there's so much. Right now I'm playing scary jokes.
Valid. I mean, you could like mute. Nah, you can't mute it.
Can't mute it.
The copy. Yeah.
See, this is the
well.
thing that I was talking about where like I don't want to fucking censor us. But
Yeah, that's true.
you know, say lovey and then you pee.
Oh, well. Just means we have to have another stream.
Exactly.
Oh well. The worst thing is.
Can't believe it.
Unless they're looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send in love to Harriet, who's in the Dissociation Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love the Iscariots. We stand them. We're going to be on a podcast with the Iscariots.
Yeah.
Pardon. Oh, people are saying Jason will take us home. Oop. Nope. He did not. Well, eventually he will take us home.
Yeah. Also, we're playing with Velcro. Hopefully that won't like come across on the stream.
I can hear it a little bit, but I think it's fine.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's how we've
Velcro.
been. It really is.
It's like fuzzy on one side and pokey on the other side, and it sticks to each other in fun ways.
Makes a good noise. Kinda.
Yeah, crunchy.
Depending.
Yeah.
So yeah. Baseball is going weird right now.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess you probably could have guessed that by the fact that it's the top of the 11th right now when there are normally 9 innings.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we're in.
I didn't know how many innings that
What?
baseball. I didn't know baseball had that many innings.
Yep, 9 innings. And then if the game is tied at the bottom of the 9th, then you move into extra innings until it is no longer tied at the bottom of an inning.
Oh, welcome. Well, Kyan came back. You did not miss anything but like some weird metaphors.
Yep. Some weird metaphors, talk about OCD, talk about therapists, baseball.
Yeah, we've been kind of chilling. There haven't been a lot of huge questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still in the middle of switching again. Switch on camera and just dissociate for 30 minutes straight.
I've been saying whenever we eventually stop doing YouTube, our last video should be a supercut of all the dissociation we've ever done on camera.
Yes.
Just like the longest non-video ever.
10 hours of dissociating. And then, like, put a whole bunch of ads in it. Because, like, you know the only people who are going to watch that are... Well, no, there might be some systems who watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind, don't put a bunch of ads in there. You put, like, a decent amount of ads.
Yeah.
Monetization is such a weird thing.
It really is. It's something that...
Yeah. I think about all the time how, like, YouTube just tries to shove a whole bunch of ads in the middle of the video, and you're like, why are you doing this? Stop.
Yeah. There was... the weird thing is, like, when you stream and you have mid-rolls automatically on, it'll like, stick a whole bunch right in the beginning, like, every 5 minutes in the beginning. But then once you reach, like, past an hour, like, nothing else.
Really?
Yeah. Which I get it because most people are going to view the first hour of a 5-hour stream and nothing else.
That's true. Yeah.
Someone said, wait, I gotta scroll back up. We often joke about the altar being the blank altar like Jellicle Cats, but we're genuinely curious if one of us would really get into baseball from this stream and be like, I'm the baseball altar now. Me, I'm the baseball altar.
Claudia, the baseball altar. Hey, Evan, if you could label us, like, the blank altar, is there, like, anyone who you would give, like, a name, like, the blank altar? So, like, you know, like, Claudia, we just made a joke that, like, Claudia is the baseball altar. Is there any labels like that you'd give us?
I mean, anyone in particular?
No, just like, can you think of any of them? Because like it can be hard to come up with them. Just do you have any?
Or a particular alter?
Yeah.
Like,
Is there any of us in particular that you would say you are the blank alter?
Diane is the lesbian.
Diane is the lesbian alter. That's valid.
Is that a
Okay.
home run? That's a home run. That's a walk-off 2-run home run, guys. We won.
A 2-run home run for Mark Reynolds. And with one swing.
Also, another question from the Discourse system. Do you guys want to talk about our podcast more? Eyes.
Yeah.
JK.
You don't have to JK it. I want to talk about your podcast more. The Iscariots have a podcast that's coming out soon where they talk with a bunch of systems about different topics. We've been in every episode so far, except for maybe like 2 that were like one-on-one interviews. We're sort of co-hosting. And we did ones on non-human alters. We did ones on jeez. I'm friggin' forgetting. Functional multiplicity. We did a couple on that. The system community, all sorts of stuff. It's a great podcast, and I cannot wait for it to go live.
There's some good jokes. First one is about the podcast. Lo-fi dissociation to vibe 2. Second one is, where is YouTube's only show ads to singlets function?
For real.
For real. Honestly. I was joking with another system on Instagram recently because we get so many just like random questions from people all the time. Just like random DMs, we get like a whole bunch. And we love answering them from systems and people who have systems in their life that they're asking the questions about because they want to be good allies. Like we will answer those all day. But the questions we can't stand, oh, sorry, I'm getting a little ranty.
Silver the discourse alter.
Silver's the discourse alter.
That's that wasn't us. That was Pegasus system.
Yeah, Silver's like more of like Silver the disability justice alter that gets really worked up about it. But anyways, the one thing we can't stand is like singlets asking us very basic questions that they can do 5 minutes of research to. So we have a long-standing joke that like we will only answer those questions from singlets if they like pay us $3 a question.
Yeah.
We end up answering them anyways because that's how we are. But like, it's a long-standing joke, and I felt like it was relatable.
I love it. Also, someone said, I'm guessing this is to the tune of Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat. Claudia, the baseball alter, the alter of the ball and base. Yeah, Claudia uses she, her. I'm she, her. That slaps. If fan artists out there, if you want to draw me as a baseball jellicle cat, that would fucking slap. What's the name of the podcast? The name of the podcast is the Iscariot and Co. Jam Sesh. Yeah, Iscariot and Co. Jam Sesh podcast.
Yeah, we did one on system community, and then we will record one about singlets, and maybe our girlfriend will record that one too.
Yeah. Our friend Nicole is going to be on that one.
Silver is the YouTube author. That's true, except secretly it's not Silver, it's S. Because, yeah, we haven't talked about that, but like part of the discovery of there's multiple Silvers is there's a YouTube Silver, and that YouTube Silver is not the same as normal Silver. Yeah.
So, quick question, Rings. Are you down to stay for like another hour for one more game?
If you let us feed the mantises in the background, yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
We just want to get to bed by like midnight our time, and we have about just like an hour of mantis work to do, and it's like 10:30 right now.
Yeah, go nuts. Feed those mantises.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll move eventually at some point then. Or maybe I should go now because it'll take a little bit longer.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah. I'm really comfy in the blanket though, so I'll do it eventually.
Fair. Do we have a third base? Mark Reynolds could probably play third. Yeah, let's have Mark Reynolds play third. He's a little tired, but he'll live.
Mark Reynolds is valid.
Yeah. Mark Reynolds might be my favorite real boy on the team. Yeah. Someone said whenever we think of the rank system, we're like, Silver is the one who's on their YouTube channel. They are not Silver, but Silver is on the wait. Silver is the one who's on their YouTube. They are not Silver, but Silver is the YouTube one. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But then, as you said, there's a secret other Silver.
Multiple. Yeah. We just haven't really been recording too much since that realization was in February, question mark, and then COVID hit literally a month later, and then like our life fell apart. So
yeah,
recording since.
I remember when you had that realization.
Yeah, it was wild. One of our collaborations was going to be on talking about that, but we never did.
I mean, we still could.
Oh, good. That's true.
If you got time tomorrow, I got time, but any time really.
We're leading a meeting from like 5 to 7 your time. And then we have a presentation.
That's fine.
It's just like some behavioral analysis thing, but like it'll be good. It'll take me like an hour. Oh.
We'll talk more about it. All that silvers is not silver.
Exactly, all the silver is not silver. Yeah. It's likely that the Silver who does YouTube, that's not me. There's a difference because me, Silver, has been on some videos. I've done like the disability justice videos. Like the disability justice videos, Silvers are me, Silver. But it's likely that the Silver that does most of the videos will choose a similar name because they've been going by S. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're sterling silver.
If Sterling, that would be really great, but we know someone named Sterling, so like that name's taken. You know?
Fair, yeah. I think I've probably suggested that before. Because
I
feel like we've had this conversation.
I know we've definitely had name conversations before, but I don't think we've had this. I don't think that suggestion has been specific.
Yeah.
Because I would remember, you know.
Yeah.
In that way, maybe even with a memory disorder. Oh well.
Don't threaten me. I will draw Claudia in a baseball uniform. Oh, I'm threatening. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Oop. Rings, do you consider silvers to be a subsystem or just multiple alters who happen to have the same name? You want to talk about the subsystem conversation we had yesterday?
Yeah, we asked that exact same question to our therapist the other day. And our therapist was like, basically, she asked us, is there anything negative that's coming out of not knowing the difference of whether they're a group of alters or whether they're a subsystem? Is there any unintentional negative consequences that are coming out of that? And like, is there, because like, if not, and if you are doing well, and if you are functioning well, and there's nothing negative coming out of not knowing, then there's not really a point to trying to figure it out. Does that make sense? Like, if you're already doing well, and you're chugging along, and you're doing great, and like, everything is vibing and perfect, it can bring up a lot of anxiety to figure out precise things about your system like that, whether it's just a cohesive functioning group or a subsystem, and there might not even be an answer that is findable. And in the quest to find that unfindable answer, it can bring up a lot of anxiety. So it's like a lot of thinking about going down that road or not. So we're doing some introspection on like whether there have been any negative consequences for a couple weeks, and then we're going to think about whether we're going to try to figure out whether we're a subsystem or just a group. So far, our understanding is that we're just a well-functioning, cohesive group that's very similar. But yeah, folks are asking, there's more than one silver? Yeah, there was 5 of us that were all masquerading as silver. We say 5.5 because Peach was poking in every now and then. But yeah.
Yeah. Similar on our end, where we think there's probably two Sandras, and I mean, Camilla thought she was Sandra for a while. It's a whole thing, and Glow is having some questioning like subsystem feelings right now, as she's mentioned on Twitter, and it was really helpful to hear that, where she could pose to herself like, does it cause me anxiety to not know? And the answer is yes. But uh but yeah, I know where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's a lot of talking about context of labels and rejecting labels.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think it ties into the whole vibe of like, it's okay to not know stuff. Like, the point of therapy is not to know, it's to be well to the extent that you want to be well and be happy with your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't necessarily involve knowing things.
Yeah. I've seen systems like talk about like, am I DID or OSTD, and like kind of worrying about it, and it's like, you know what you can be? You can be plural. You can be multiple. You can like not have to go that specific right now or at all. Also, Bug is here. Hello, Bug.
Hi, Bug. And like, yeah, the difference at the end of the day, like having specific names for things like DID versus OSCD, some subsystem versus group, it doesn't actually change what you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
It won't actually change how you work with the experience unless it's something like specific. Like, are we two different alters of the same person? Because then you'll like do things differently. But most of the time, you won't actually do things differently. And if you don't actually do things differently based on the answer, then you don't need to know. Like, that's just what it boils down to a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of things. So that's why we have names like Unknown and Dano. Unknown was originally Unknown Lil, and Dano was originally just the same thing, but with the word unknown. But the word unknown was taken. That's good to have like placeholder names like that. Legit question. Are you going to talk? What?
It's a discoursey question.
Yeah.
Do you
wanna? Do you guys want us to talk about it? Like, chat? Because, well, I know the answer is yes, because everyone wants juicy gossip.
Yeah.
But, you know, if anyone's going to be, like, triggered by that, or, like, is going to be hurt by talking about it even briefly, then we'll skip it.
Yeah. So we'll wait like maybe 3 minutes, and we'll get the chat's opinion on that question.
Yeah.
And whether we want to talk about it. Yeah.
Someone said Argentinium silver. Only other silver type that isn't just a number or a place name.
Maybe. I can run it past us. They haven't really shown their face around too much since like July, I think. I remember they might have been around and we just don't know, because they're the person that's having the most trouble figuring out when it's them. Does that make sense?
It is. Yes. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, jeez, man. Sorry.
Baseball.
Yeah, sorry. A pitch came too close to Country Breakfast Pretty Boy, and I flinched in real life.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, Ethereal Collective says, we honestly have no idea how subsystems exist, and it seems so intriguing that someone can dissociate so much they dissociate from dissociation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason...
Oh, go for it.
No, you first.
No, you first.
We think that the glow subsystem exists because of like a mass integration. Because the glow who you guys know isn't the original glow. She, or I guess they were like a human, I'm gonna say cis man for lack of a cleaner term, probably. And there were a lot of shadows like around them, and we theorized that they all like fused at some point. So we think that essentially all of them are in there still. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
High fly ball out to straightaway center. Has a beat on it.
Yeah. Oh, I think chat just got our question
Yeah.
about spicy question. Oh,
Still scoreless.
gossip is nice, I guess. LOL. Let's wait a little bit more,
Yeah.
though.
It's going to be
there's
small
another
discourse.
Small discourse, yeah. I know, I wouldn't even call it like discourse.
Yeah.
I think it's more like gossip.
Yeah, gossip, opinions.
Gossip are two different things, yeah. But back on subsystems, I feel like it's like the brain's way of organizing dissociation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You want to go into more detail, though?
I don't know, like, it like presents to us as subsystems, but like the brain is like organizing it in certain ways because that's how it makes sense of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have more explanation than that.
Like, these things are similar but need to be, like, cut off from each other still.
Yeah.
And the 0-2 pitch.
Yeah. Anyways, do you want to do a little gossip?
Yeah, so I haven't seen the video myself, but I was talking with the Gianu system this morning, and they summarized it for me, and our friend Sequoia also summarized it for me. And they said that I think the content showed a lot of what they've been working on. I'm sorry, I guess I'm just spilling the tea on what Gianu system thinks. Sorry, guys. I think the content showed a lot of what they've been working on in therapy as opposed to the almost manic feel some of their videos had in the months before the shutdown. And if it's true, and if it does seem like they're healthier now, like, good for them. I hope it stays that way. But honestly, I think that they should. I mean, I'm sure it's not this simple because like their finances are tied up in the channel, I assume. But they should abandon their channel, not because I don't like them and not because I feel like they're harming the community, but I feel like they're harming themselves by doing this. And I think that hitting 1 million subscribers in a time where you are emotionally volatile and in a time where people are like being critical of like every little thing that you say or do, that sounds terrible for you. It sounds terrible for anyone, to be completely honest. I think that's why so many of the like gigantic YouTubers are just fucking weirdos. Because the human mind was never meant to process this sort of thing. So that's my thought.
I mean, we got scared at like 8,000. That's like a little freaky. God, 1 million?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have not heard a summary of the video, so we don't have opinions like that. But like, we were talking to another OSTD system, not you guys, and they mentioned that Dissociated was planning on filming a video about OSTD, and they were like talking to us about how they were feeling conflicted about whether they should reach out because to like get representation in the video and like educate better about OCD because voices aren't heard, and like it's very hard to find OCD experiences outside of very textual stuff, which is just true basically. Also, I'm getting a little bit of echo. Hopefully that's not bad.
I'm not hearing it too much. Or at all, really.
And my response to that was like, I don't think it matters because I don't think she will respond. I don't trust her to have more than basic info on OCD, and like, that's kind of where I'm at with it, and I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of DID systems in general who get OCD right, and I'm not gonna lie, we didn't really get OCD right in our first video about OCD. We wish we could go back and change it, and we will likely go back and redo a video on it because we only really talked about Dash 1B, and we didn't really elaborate on Dash 1A or Dash 1 overall, or the non-switching systems that got removed from the DS and 3R.
Yep.
And those are things we really want to include in OCD experiences, and we feel really, really badly for excluding. And like, we know dissociated will most likely leave out non-switching systems and will frame it as a very boxy thing, and we're just kind of dreading that.
Yep.
And like, at the end of the day, I think some boxy awareness could be good. I mean, like, our boxy awareness from before was really good for the community. I want to steer the ship towards what it should be, which is much more spectrum and much more a range and variety of experiences that can't be encapsulated by boxes.
Yeah. I mean, their channel has always been for singlets primarily, and that's where I'm at. I'm glad that it helped some systems, but I feel like whenever I go on that channel, I feel like, oh, this isn't for me.
Yeah. We also just can't focus through their videos. Like, that's just a personal thing. We just find it hard to focus on any long videos at all. So we'd watch, like, snippets here and there, but we couldn't really get through them.
Fair.
Just because, like, we can't really do any videos at all. We have no attention span. And that's why so many of our videos are shorts, except for the ones that we really care about something.
Yeah. Alright. I think that's enough discourse.
That's enough discourse for the day.
It's like, what else can you say? At any other point, you're just kind of, going around in circles after a certain point.
Yeah. Hopefully the echo's gone. I don't hear it anymore. So, I'm gonna take this small break to move and transition to mantises.
That sounds good.
I'm gonna stand up.
I'll try and keep an eye on the chat for like questions and stuff.
Okay, sounds good.
I wonder how many switches / how much dissociation among the people watching have been triggered by others in the chat saying they're switching / dissociating. Yeah, sympathy switching is definitely a thing. Do any of you ever feel like you can't concentrate when dissociation is happening? Yeah. Yeah, it fogs up your brain like nothing else.
We have to go get the other stool, so we'll be right back.
Okay. Nope. OSTD experiences are vast, so it feels nice to hear the lesser sides of OSTD talked about. Yeah. It's, yeah. We, that's what we tried to, you know, we're not the most eloquent people, but we tried to, my boy Dinger is back. Yeah, there he is. We tried to talk about that in our video on OSTD with the strongholds, that, you know, it's, you know, OSTD is more than just those two boxes, and frankly, I feel that just DID in general is more than, or like medicalized plurality in general is more than just DID and OSTD. It's a whole spectrum, and honestly, I feel like we generally kind of lie in the middle, but more towards OSTD. You know, it is what it is. When switching, we stop being able to think about anything that's not really trivial. If your mind is a room, it becomes very small, which is also how a lot of us fragments feel. That makes sense. OCD is a category made to be exceptions to the rule of DID, so count all of the exceptions you have numbers of experience to count for. Yep. We like their Sims Headspace videos, but we like those in general. Yeah, those sound nice. Thank you for the discourse. Agree with the points given. Good. Echo is not going, but it's better. Do any of you guys play Animal Crossing, even the older games?
We're back.
Hey.
Just for a little bit. Any interesting questions we missed?
Do any of you guys play Animal Crossing?
God, I feel so bad. Evie in our system was a huge fan of Animal Crossing, but our phone unexpectedly, because we did Pocket Camp. They did Pocket Camp. And our phone broke, and it was unrecoverable.
Mm-hmm.
All the details on irrecoverable, and we didn't have a Nintendo account, so all of these data got lost.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it's a big oof.
Any media y'all have latched onto as unintentional plural representation? Thoughts?
Yes. Sense8 is just a plural show.
I was gonna say that too.
It is. It's the most plural show ever. Also, we can't keep up with the chat when feeding.
Yeah, that's fair. That's why I'm talking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sense8 is the most plural show in the entire world. I swear. I mean, it like helped us accept our plurality in some ways. I remember at the time we were with one of our shitty exes, and he didn't want us to watch it without him.
Mm-hmm.
So like, obviously we watched it without him anyways.
Get him.
And then it was because it was really good, and like it was about plurality. It was like the first plural rep we had ever seen. So like fuck him, we're watching the entire show so we can have the plural rep and like have the experience of like seeing ourselves represented on for screen without waiting like 5 months for him to get his shit together. Also, like, he was kind of a shitty boyfriend anyways.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't care. But it was just so good. We have the, like, theme song on one of our Spotify playlists. We have a plural Spotify playlist of plural music. And it's just it's just such a good show.
Yeah. Like, when I first watched it, I was unaware of my own plurality, and, so, I saw it as the metaphor I think it was intended to be, which is, the queer and especially the trans experience. You're connected to all of these other people, and you don't initially know why or how, but once you figure it out, you also figure out that people hate you for it. That's basically it.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. That's probably what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
think I honestly wouldn't be surprised if one or more of the creators are plural.
no,
Because Babylon
Yeah.
5, who J. Michael Straczynski is one of the co-creators of Sense8, and he's like the creator for Babylon 5. And Babylon 5 has some plural feels as well.
Oh. Another big one is like all of Rooster Teeth's shows. We firmly believe there's someone on the Rooster Teeth team who is plural because Ruby has some of the their show Ruby has some of the best plural rep we've ever seen. Also, the Echo's back. I don't really know why. Maybe it's a headphones thing.
Maybe.
But Ruby has some of the best plural rep we've ever seen. It comes in around season 4. And it looks like they're heading towards integration, which makes me really sad. But like, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But both their shows plural, their shows Ruby and Red versus Blue, and their new one Genlock all have huge plural vibes. And like it's done really well and really detailed. So part of Ruby it's like an anime show and there's like fighting. But the plural character, like the different system members hold their weapons differently, and they have like just like those slight bodily changes, which are really nice, and it's really nice to see that level of detail of like unintentional plural rep. And there's just a whole bunch of just like sharing the body vibes, you know?
Yeah. It's
So we like firmly believe someone on Rooster Teeth is plural, or like have a plural friend.
yeah. Like the more you mention it, the more I think about it, the more I think about like how many series it comes up in. Because like my intro to Rooster Teeth was their Sims 2 series, Strangerhood. And at the end, it turned out that that there were like 2 identical people. It was two-bodied plurality essentially, or that some weird time thing ended up splitting someone in half. Yeah.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth has so many plural vibes, it's insane.
Wild. we find Inside Out to be good for that too. Anything that tries to create a metaphor for the inner workings of brains using characters, it's really good accidental system representation. Yeah. We watched the Armando Iannucci adaptation of David Copperfield last night, and Hugh Laurie's character was incredibly plural coded to the point where we were like, what else could possibly be the intention here? He was fixated on the thoughts of King Charles the First that now lived inside of his head, and all of us were like, interject? Claudia, is the stream going to end soon? I would say we've got like 45 minutes left, maybe? Well, we're in like the top of the 4th right now. So this baseball game is like halfway done. So I would say half hour, 45 minutes, maybe?
Unless you get in a really long tie again.
Unless I get into a really long tie again. But we got Paul Blart pitching. He's our star pitcher.
Yeah. Or because it's more of like a chat stream, we could just go by like when we want to end.
Yeah.
Even if it's in the middle of a baseball game. So,
Exactly.
yeah, we're not bound by the confines of time.
We're not bound by the ball.
That's one way of putting it. Alright.
So yeah. Get out of here. What else is good system representation? I feel like there's something that's like right on the tip of my tongue here. It's gotta be something.
It's the thing you guys just played.
Thing that...
Celeste.
Yeah, Celeste is great unintentional system representation. Finding a part of you that initially seems like really confrontational and shitty, but also like has your best your best interests at heart, is just, you know, going about it the wrong way. Yeah. That's plural, baby. Yu-Gi-Oh is plural. Yu-Gi-Oh is plural. Rings is, are you too young for Yu-Gi-Oh?
We played Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, but not normally. We just we played it very autistically, so we laid out all the cards in pretty patterns and pretended they were monsters.
That's wonderful. But the show is about this kid who solves a like an ancient puzzle, and like accidentally accepts the spirit of a deceased pharaoh into him or something, and they switch. Like there is like the end of season 1, there is a card game that they do where their opponent can like read their mind. So their strategy against him is to basically switch every time they put down a card, so that one of them only knows half the cards that are down on the table.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I love that for them. Go throw around.
Yeah. Paul Blart Ball God.
Oh, Blart, oh god. I love that. Hello. Sorry, girlfriend's back.
Welcome back. Or rather, since last week, ST Discovery has a system in their ongoing cast. Star Trek Discovery. Trill sci-fi metaphor, but still, they're also trans. Hell yeah, man. Oh, that slaps.
That really slaps.
I gotta watch Sci-Fi Discovery. Someone that we're like internet friends with does the Klingon for that show, like the Klingon language for the show.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like fluent in it. It's weird, and by weird I mean amazing, but uncommon.
We have an old high school friend who's fluent in Klingon.
Really?
Yeah. They found our channel by accident too.
Oh, it's that same one?
Yeah, same person.
Huh. Wild.
Yeah.
Random question, but are you going to / have you played Detroit Become Human? We've played that on our own. We could do something like that on the channel. I mean, it's like... Oh, that might be fun.
looked at it, it was on like Epic Games once, and we ended up not getting it.
It is a game that I like it. It's maybe not a good game. It's a David Cage game. He did Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Indigo Prophecy / Fahrenheit. This is honestly one of his better games.
Alright, now is the time where I start dealing with the very fast little babies. So if I start saying like, come here, or like, no, I'm talking to the button, not to you.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I threw it to the wrong fucking base.
Oh no!
Throw it! Oh, style points! We have an interject of a past life of the bodies, like Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. That's interesting.
That's wild.
Yeah, I can't say I've heard that before. That's interesting. In one episode of Yu-Gi-Oh, the Pharaoh gets to front and hang out with one of Yugi's friends. Oh, is that the one where like he hangs out with Taya, I think? Or whatever her Japanese name is. Detroit Become Human adds a PC version, right? I don't know. Probably. I have it on a PS4. We were spacing out a bit, and on hearing the words Paul Blart, had a very strange moment where we thought, is Claudia about to say Paul Blart Mall Cop? It's plural representation. Oh man.
God.
Okay, wait. Let me try and work this.
Oh my god. The only thing I know about Paul Blart Mall Cop is that my friend who's obsessed with Mabim Bam, obsessed with podcasts in general, says that there's a podcast that watches Paul Blart Mall Cop yearly.
Yes, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. It's called Till Death Do Us Blart.
Oh yeah.
And their plan is that they are going to watch Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 once a year until the end of linear time. They have people lined up that if they die, those people take their place on the podcast.
Oh my god. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah. And Mads and I have been watching it every year along with them. And it is a movie that I've definitely seen like 4 times. Detroit, it's totally not about racism, Become Human. I mean, Detroit, it's totally about racism, aren't I subtle, Become Human. That's... So...
Why are all the... sorry, flies.
It's okay. I like to think about, like, what... I like to think about the, I guess, psych profiles of people who, like, make a lot of works. And the thing I think about David Cage is that he has, like, a lot of guilt surrounding his son. 'Cause, like, his very first, like, big game, Indigo Prophecy, has a credit at the end. I shouldn't have hit that. Has a credit at the end that says, like special thanks to my son for all of the like birthdays, holidays, and late nights that I missed with you. It'll never happen again. And Heavy Rain is all about like horrible father-son relationships or like negligent father-son relationships. Is that a home run? No. It was not at all. Where, like, you know, the main bad guy's beef is essentially that, like, his father was so negligent that it, you know, it ruined his life. And, so he takes it out on other negligent fathers. And, so my thought is that David Cage is probably a little bit afraid that if he misses another of his son's birthdays, he's going to turn into a serial killer. That's where I'm at. I mean, with what day is this for Paul Blart Mall Cop Day? It's Thanksgiving they do it on, or like the day before Thanksgiving usually. It's it's a time. Hey Ringses, did you know that our hormone anniversary is in like 10 days?
Happy hormone anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 3 years on estrogen.
Oh yeah.
One thing you try to do as a hitter is figure out what pattern to pitch.
We actually started hormones on Thanksgiving 2017.
That's a mighty fine day for a hormone anniversary.
Yeah.
Say so myself.
I'm still trying to think of ways that Paul Blart could be plural rep.
Got him swinging on the fastball there. Lance goes down to become the first out in the 6th inning.
It'll come to me one day.
It will.
Oh, someone said Griffin McElroy's realization that Paul Blart 2 syncs up to Dark Side of the Moon deserved a Pulitzer. Yeah. It's amazing. Rings, I highly recommend you watch the video that someone made where they like synced up the parts that they talk about. 'Cause it is goddamn amazing.
Okay, I will.
I'll link that to you after.
I mean, we might do a Paul Blart this year because our friend who is into that is not going home for Thanksgiving this year.
Ooh.
So
That's Blart time, baby.
we're bad blocking him, but we've already talked about him on this channel with Aaron.
Oh, nice.
I mean, yeah. So
Hey, maybe if he's interested, you, me, him, and Mads can watch it all together because we need to watch it this year too.
hell yeah, I'll ask. I mean, it really depends on him not having like 5 bajillion robot things to do.
That's valid.
In the
No,
lab.
please just bounce off the wall. That's gone.
Where did the third fly go? No, come back. Okay, there's one fly. There we go. Please don't eat it yet.
Claudia, this theory is perfect. I'm glad.
Sorry, you're gonna get like a lot of bug self-talk now.
That's fine.
Okay. Just like trigger warning for bugs, like moving on.
Valid.
Because if you've never like tried to portion out fruit flies specifically for like teeny tiny mantises, don't ever try it. It makes you very sad.
That sounds really difficult.
Yeah.
You're doing great
Yeah.
bug work.
Thanks. How's the chat? We can't see it, so.
Chat's doing okay. They're talking about hormone anniversary. Wait, do we have the same hormone anniversary? Ours is the 28th. Ours is the 23rd. Yeah, it's something. Man, we so every once in a while we'll get tempted to like tweet a picture of ourselves like day 0 of hormones.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
exactly.
No.
It's like we have a captive audience of people who have never seen us presenting as male. And it's like,
You can just keep it that way.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, what a good boy.
And that's the same thing like where we tweeted like self-love is not polling your followers to ask if you pass.
Yeah, that is self-love.
Ooh. Hit a ball right through the pitcher's legs.
Oh, is that a bug?
That's around the time we first came out as trans. Hell yeah, Scribblers. Also, yesterday was our 30th birthday. Happy birthday to the Scribblers.
Happy birthday, Scribblers. It's trans solidarity in their chat today.
Yeah, and I feel the trans in this Chili's tonight.
Exactly.
Honestly, like, a blessed month between 2 awful trauma months, yeah. We're big December people. Even if we're not like a religious lot, we really love gifting day. a lot of stuff about it. Why doesn't the baseball game let Blart ride his Segway?
Blart deserves a segue. Where are you going,
He
small
does.
child? Sorry. He is escaping. Where are you going?
A Segway would be a hell of a pinch runner.
Yeah. Name another baseball character segue, and like one can pitch and one can go. Whole Blart segue.
Yeah.
I don't understand the reference because I have not seen the movie, but I'm assuming.
He rides a Segway because he's a mall cop.
That makes sense. God. That sounds as ridiculous as I think it would be.
The wind chimes say that our birthday is on the 22nd. Happy almost birthday to you guys. Nice. Okay. So yeah, it's a time. You guys got any more system questions? Because system stuff slaps.
System stuff does slap, or anything that like, yeah. Oh, where are you going? Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Small tiny things like to run everywhere.
Oof. Tiny mantises.
They're like the size of my pinky nail right now.
That's very small.
Yeah, like very small babies. Oh my god, where did he go?
Oh no.
He's over there. Okay, no. Come back, please.
Another one sent foul.
Good luck with the buggies.
Thanks.
God damn it. So, I feel like I was gonna say something. I mentioned don't poll your followers to ask if you pass as cis because that's self-harm. That's a double play. Fantastic. Great. And yeah. You guys in the audience, do you have a favorite video from the Ringses?
Oh no!
Is that okay to ask?
Yeah, that's okay to ask.
Okay. One of our favorites.
I feel like this is the most casual we've ever been in like a YouTube setting.
Yeah, because like the YouTube stream that we did together was still a little more like proper.
Yeah, good boy.
They get to see the chill Ringses. Oh my god, it's the
They do.
7th inning already. Jeez.
It's like beyond chill rings. It's the chill rings that's like talking to the bugs.
That strike right there.
Oh, he got two. I'm so proud of you, little dude.
Aw.
If I ever say good boy, I'm talking to the mantises. I categorize them all as boy right now.
I appreciate that.
It's like super clear.
Oh yeah, this is a system chat, not just a Paul Blart chat.
Where did it go?
I'm sorry, we're rebranding our channel. We are exclusively a Paul Blart Mall Cop channel now. That's the only topic that we're gonna think about. For April Fools next year, we'll do a video on how Paul Blart Mall Cop is plurality.
Top tier 4 run. Paul Blart Cop.
Do you know much about median systems, and could you see yourselves making a video about it? I could see us making a video about it if we make it a system and like interview a median system. Unfortunately, I don't know as much about it as I would like to.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of people who've been asking for like the difference between BPD and OSCD1A, and I'm like, oh, that's like an afternoon of research.
Yeah.
I will thank you.
It's difficult. So yeah, if any like, we'll find like a good median system to talk to about it. If anyone has any recommendations for median systems that you know, let me know. Claudia, would you be able to expand on switching getting smoother over time? Like, was there anything in particular that helped, or did it just kind of happen? One was letting go of anxiety, that the idea that you can switch smoothly or that you can switch on command means that you are faking it. Because it doesn't. It just means that you have good communication and you have good control between system members. And is it okay if we don't use plural kit in the Discord server? Yeah, that's fine. So other things that helped are communication, dealing with like underlying issues that people had with each other and with trust and with Dustin Garneau, you are absolutely useless in this context. And I guess with some just general trauma that they had. But it kind of just happened as we healed more. But honestly, one of the biggest things was just letting go of that anxiety. Son of a bitch. People say that they like the emotional amnesia video. It's okay to not know who's fronting. When are you gonna rename to the Blart system?
Gosh. Fun fact about the emotional amnesia video. We were planning on not making one about emotional amnesia because we thought we covered it in the OSTV 1 video. And then there were so many people asking about it, we decided we were just like, oh, fine, we'll do a video. And we did. And like, we found stuff to add and people found it really useful, and I'm really glad we ended up doing it. People really like that. I think it was like having it all be concise and in one area at one time. It was just like really useful for people.
Yeah. Someone said we also liked when you both chatted to each other on each other's channels. Those videos are among our favorites. Honestly, the accepting that we're a system video is one of my favorite videos that we've ever done.
Yeah, it's up there. I think our favorite videos are the accepting we're a system video, and then the different dynamic levels of external awareness video.
Yeah.
Another like our favorite too.
That's our
favorite. That's our favorite concept we've ever explained. Period. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Yeah, because it's something that's like so rarely talked about. And switching is often portrayed as like a light switch, and it's just not at all. Or like sometimes switching is even portrayed as like fronting, not fronting, co-conscious. But it's like so much more dynamic than that. Like it's really this huge, dynamic, ever-shifting, constantly changing system, and no one ever really talks about that. And that's the concept that I will always talk about when I ever do any presentation on DID ever for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. A lot of people are saying it's okay to not know who's fronting is their favorite. Someone asked, or someone with regards to median systems said, we probably have BPD and have been fighting distinguishing between that, and we're considering just identifying as a median system, and there's just not much info on it, really. Yeah. My opinion is, like, which helps you more? Like, does it... Son of a gun. Does it help you more to identify as a system, or does it help you more to identify as someone with BPD? Because whatever helps you more is what you should go with. And no one can take that away from you. Honestly. Like, I think that a lot of people who are really, really insecure in themselves and in their place in the community and in their system, really like policing who can and cannot be a system. And honestly, the idea that like if you're not diagnosed or whatever, or if you're like not sure that you're a system and you say that you might be, that you're like eating up precious resources for other people in the community. It's like, untrue. It's like, what resources are you taking? What resources do we have? Rings, do we have resources?
No, we don't have any resources.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
activism. Also, like, hot take that I mean, the only resource you could possibly take up would be, like, if you had a professional, like, there's just, the only resource that have that are in know of is the dissociation specialist. But the thing is, if you think you might be a system and you might not be a system, you need that dissociation specialist anyways.
Exactly.
Also, like, hot take we just thought of, like, literally right now, but, like, why do you have to be a system of alters to be a system?
Now here it comes.
Yeah.
You could be a system of parts. You could be, like, a system of, like, things that are less than parts.
Internal
That's
family
your...
systems.
Exactly, yeah. System is your own word to define, and you can use it as you want to.
Yep.
I don't think we should exclude people from the word system just because they don't have alters in the classic sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the usage of I am a system is not a medical term. People claim it's a medical term all the time, and that's because it is a reclaimed medical term. Where it came from is people like Kluft saying things like a system of alters, but the only time we ever actually see it used in the sense of I am a system, like possessive, I am adjective, not a noun, is in the Many Voices magazine.
Yep.
Which is a community-driven thing, so it's a reclaimed word that anyone can use if they feel like it applies to them. So,
yep.
Yeah.
I think that people who are, who claim to, like, I think people who are like, hey, like, how do I put this? People who say these things that we're talking about, don't know the history of our community, and they have no intention of learning it. And, they, like I said, they're insecure people, and honestly, they need help, not in a bad way, but they should seek some help. I think that everyone can benefit from therapy, but I think that people who are insecure in that way should maybe examine why.
Or like, I don't know. It's a lot of like. Also, that I think it's not helpful that some of the history is hard to find. Does that make sense? Like you have to know where you're looking.
Yeah.
Which is why I think L.B. Lee's history was so helpful because they dug through like literally massive amounts of old forum posts that are like archived and stuff, you know?
Yeah. I highly recommend the L.B. Lee history talk. It is on the Plural Events YouTube channel, and it is like an hour and a half long, and it is son of a gun. It's amazing. I honestly think everyone should watch it. It's about the history of the system community.
Also, like, secondly, sorry, this is
No,
just
no, go ahead.
a touch discoursey, but a lot of the history that I see is incorrect. Loves to cite stuff like the dark personalities form and Astria's web. But the thing is, like, if you actually look at any forms after that, everyone hates them. Just to put it lightly. Like, even the people who are, like, so radical, like, we might disagree with them, like, everyone hates Astria's web and dark personalities. Like, that's just... It was a shitty time. It was a shitty time in system history, and it was fueled by a backlash of some trauma survivors thinking other trauma survivors were too weak. And it formed like horrible, gross communities around that, and we as a community have to heal a lot from that. So taking that out of context and taking dark personalities and Astria's web outside of that context of survivors being hateful at other survivors and feeling uncomfortable with other survivors and feeling insecure with other survivors just like does a disservice to our history.
Yep.
I think those two examples are things that do need to be addressed, and we can't just let that fall to the wayside because serious inter-community harm was occurred between different sets of survivors. But like, I feel like a lot of incorrect history accounts take those sites out of context, and from that, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and I very much agree.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked what the difference between being a fragment and a median had made is. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely one of
I don't know. It might just be a difference of definition.
I think it's a different. It's like what wording you prefer to use. I feel like fragment tends to be used more often in situations where there aren't fragments, and median tends to be used in situations where everyone is median. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Median is also a community-based word. It got started by the Wikis, and it was originally mid-continuum. So there's some people who might like to use the word median for the same reason they might use headmates or plural because of medical trauma and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Someone said the guy who talks about internal family systems talks about all people being systems. Traumatized ones are more separated, though. That's what our therapist says, too.
We actually have an IFS therapist, and we can go on a rant about this if you guys would like.
Yeah.
So is that a yes for the
Yeah,
rant?
go right ahead.
Let me finish portioning out these fruit flies real quick, and then I will start, because they are escaping, and I do not want them to escape.
Yeah. Median is more like 95% overlap between people, but sometimes the 5% difference really matters. That's interesting.
Yeah. So anyways, we have an IFS therapist, and she actually does IFS therapy with us. And I feel like the description that everyone is a system applies when you don't think of systems as being only alters. Does that make sense? Because the way IFS therapy is applied to DID is different than the way IFS therapy is applied to singlets. Because the way IFS therapy works for singlets is that every singlet has different parts of themselves, like an angry part and a firefighter part and a judgmental part and a childish part. But the way you apply it to DID systems is you kind of treat it like a whole bunch of Russian nesting dolls, in that within a body, there's a whole bunch of alters. And within each alter, there's a whole bunch of different emotional parts, like the angry part and the firefighter part. Like, well, I, Silver, will have an angry part and a judgmental part and a firefighter part. And then someone like Peach, who was here earlier, Peach will have her own firefighter part and judgmental part and childish part. So it's like a whole bunch of Russian nesting dolls. And when someone says under IFS therapy, everyone is a system, then also every alter in a system is also a system. So it's a very interesting way of looking at it. And it also means it's very dangerous if you apply singlet version IFS therapy to DID systems, because then you're treating alters like emotional parts, and that does a huge disservice, and it's bad. It's just bad. Yeah. Because, yeah.
Yeah, very much agree with all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She also had a very interesting theory on how emotional parts, like firefighter parts and judgmental parts, can be shared between different system members, and how each person with DID has a different arrangement of emotional parts and judgmental parts and all this stuff. And I found that very interesting. I know we shared that with you. But like, that's something I want more of her opinion on, because I only talked about that last therapy session with her, so like, we don't have the full picture yet.
Yeah. I think that's very... I mean, I don't know what to say about that. That was great.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. IFS therapy, when done right, can be really helpful. IFS therapy, when done wrong, can be really harmful. You have to be really careful, and you have to make sure, if you get an IFS therapist, that they have gone through the second stage of training that is required by IFS therapists for DID systems.
Yeah.
Like, explicitly ask them that. Because, like, some IFS therapists will think they can work with DID systems, and they actually can't.
Yeah, agreed. We hit a 2-run home run. Country breakfast, pretty boy.
Country breakfast, pretty boy. Hey, love.
Our therapist uses IFS for us. Oh, sorry.
We're gonna mute for a hot second to chat with our girlfriend.
Yeah. My girlfriend uses that internal family systems thing to help her understand herself, and it's made it easier for her to understand my system. That's great. It's a small jump from parts to people. Yep, I agree. She just goes, oh, your characters are actual people and not characters that represent parts. That makes sense. Get him out of there. Oh, right after Matt Vasgersian was saying that he's did a really good job, but someone's gonna make him pay. Hey, buddy.
Okay, we're back.
Hey, welcome back.
Thanks.
Internal family systems, basically the concept that yourself is made up of different parts and functions. Oh, someone was explaining what IFS was.
Oh yeah, I realized we never did that.
Yeah. Internal family systems, basically the concept that yourself is made up of different parts and responses. Singlet IFS and system IFS are slightly different. I would even venture to say they are severely different.
Because it's just parts within parts versus just parts.
Yeah, for sure.
Because yeah, there's a whole bunch of things about emotional anxiety parts that we do in therapy that would be incredibly uncomfortable if we did alters and system members. Like one way to deal with anxiety is to like acknowledge the anxiety and then ask it to like sit to the side while you do something else. And like if you did that to an alter, that would be like really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's basically like, yeah, because it's a lot of imagery stuff. So it's like, imagine it sitting like on a bench and being like, I'm just going to have you wait until I'm done with this thing, and then I will come acknowledge you more. And like, that would make a whole bunch of us really mad. That was
Yeah.
helpful to us.
We started out with like singlet IFS therapy. Someone said this chat is very interesting, but it's 4:20 a.m. Blaze It. The Blaze It is an editorialization by me. So we should probably head to bed. Go to bed!
Yeah, you can watch the rest of the stream later. It's not going anywhere.
Honestly, we're probably going to be done in like 15 minutes anyway.
Yeah, you can get these lovely tappy sounds whenever you'd like.
Yeah. It's, ASMR. Hey, would you guys be interested in if I recorded some ASMR? Because I've been thinking about it. Because we asked this in our Discord server a few months ago, and people were like, yeah. And people have like described her voice as soothing before, which I don't get, but fair enough.
Yeah, same here.
It's, you know, it's something.
I think it's something that comes with very carefully planning out with what you're going to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Scripting it.
Yeah.
Someone said, why are you streaming so late? It's, you know, this is a comfy area for us to stream in. It's like almost midnight, and we're about to wrap up. It's not like our Night in the Woods streams where a couple of them ended like 2 or 3 a.m.
Cool.
Because I was not great at estimating how long some of those aspects of that game took.
Yeah.
It was a great time, though. What?
I feel like nighttime is autistic time.
Exactly.
That's just what it is.
I would venture to say live systems probably feel safer at night because, you know, abusers are asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're probably right.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, we started out with singlet IFS, and so you know our therapist was like, her advice was things like for like child parts, if a loud noise happened or whatever, to say to yourself like, you know, we're okay, like we're okay, we're nothing's gonna hurt us here, we're safe. And that helped a lot. And so we started doing more self-talk, and the parts we were talking to started wanting to be talked to a lot better. And you know, it's
I feel like IFS therapy, if you're in singlet version therapy for it, it brings out your system.
yeah.
Like, it makes it very clear that it's like not applying the way it should.
Yeah. Our therapist was that therapist who was like, if you had DID, I would know. She seemed, I think she seemed to think that we were taking the metaphor too far. Also, game's over, we won.
Oh! Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think she. Oh, sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to put my finger in your mouth. I thought I was scratching your chin.
Oh.
It's like it's difficult. To say like, hey, I think I've finally figured out what's going on with me, and to hear back like, basically like you're exaggerating or you're crazy or something.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's like, no, that's not really happening. You're misunderstanding what is happening to you. Also, Alexandrites SMR.
Oh.
Country Breakfast Pretty Boy is a player of the game. So yeah. We're gonna wrap up in a few minutes if anyone has like any final questions here. Ring says it was wonderful having you on.
Yeah, we'd love to be here again if that's opportunity in the future.
Yeah.
And maybe we can do it sometime chasing down runaway fruit flies.
Yeah. We can maybe do an earlier stream sometime and like do a do like a 6:30 p.m. stream to I don't know 9:30 or whatever.
Yeah. Saturdays are the best for us. Saturdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
Awkwardly, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was lovely being here.
Yeah. I wish we could have shown you the actual baseball a bit better.
Yeah.
But
oh well.
maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
For a long time, Kevin in our system was called Jerk Brain and just felt like a collection of negative, involuntary thoughts. Also, I'm going to mute the Elgato here. But when we started trying to communicate and find out if headmates were there, he got very angry we didn't notice him all along. Mood! That's me! That's me! Has anyone seen I Think You Should Leave? Because the guy honking, that's me! But he mellowed out as soon as we realized he was a person and allowed him to be a person, not just a jerk. Kevin is still a huge jerk, just not as much and more helpful. Nice.
He's a jerk to the right people.
Yeah, exactly. It's what I do. So yeah. I think we're gonna wait like one more minute to wrap up the stream to see if there are any like final questions.